Fuck it. We'll go live a minute early. Why not? All I was doing was absolutely nothing other than just reading through the chat. So, welcome, Rose, Rebecca, Sherry. Those are the only three that are here so far, even though it says that a fourth person's watching. Maybe the fourth person's me. Who fucking knows, man? I can't keep track of this shit. Way too much shit to keep track of. Let's go ahead and add this to all of the appropriate fucking playlists. Oh, in a shitty fucking mood. I don't know about anybody else, but did your NFL team play today? What's up, Q's Queen? My NFL team played today, and they fucking lost. So anybody here trying to avoid spoilers don't really give a shit at this point. So you care about the NFL, you care about the Packers. Fuck if you care about the Saints. That's who they played. Leave. Leave now. I'm gonna fucking talk about it. Or, I guess, talk about why I'm fucking pissed off. Rose says, glad to hear Rebecca watched football and relaxed doing nothing but made dinner. Hello, Christine. Hello, Carmen. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Just a man ranting with his thoughts. Hello, Billie Jean. Don't know if I flashed everybody on the screen, but it's fine. It's fine. I've said hello to all the names that I can see so far in the chat. And they have said hello to me, which I appreciate very much. You know what I appreciate even more than a quality hello, which I do get at least once a week. Thank you. Appreciate it. But what I appreciate more than a quality hello is somebody who can follow a simple fucking instruction. Like just keeping the instruction as simple as possible. It would be great if you, with whatever maximum amount of intelligence you are willing to use on the issue. Some people's is a little higher, some people's is a little lower, if you get what I'm talking about. Not everybody is the sharpest tool in the shed. Anyway, it would be nice if people would be able to follow a simple instruction. What kind of simple instruction? Oh my God. One that I thought was so simple I didn't think I needed to add anything to it because I didn't think that it could be misinterpreted. Boom, instantly wrong on that one. Second point, even if it was misinterpreted, there is still only one solution, which is don't talk about the fucking game. That was all I asked. It was the only thing that I fucking asked. It was it. All I said was, please. And I guess the jury's out on whether or not I said please. Either way, I said, don't talk about the game. All I add, just don't say anything positive, negative. Don't even tell me that you fucking didn't watch it. I said, don't talk about the game, which means anything, any fucking thing that you're going to say that is associated in even the littlest bit with the game, don't fucking say it because I said don't say anything about the game. Well, what if you've interpreted it to mean that I already saw the game and I know how it turns out? So, wait, the instruction was still don't say anything about the game? Yeah, the instruction was, or the request, I guess is a better way to pull it, put it, whatever. Hello, Patty. You got here mid rant. Even though it's not a very loud rant, it's still a fucking rant because my God, I didn't think that it was that difficult to not do something. But apparently, when you're asked not to do something, it's the only thing that you want to do, even if you know the other person cares about something like, I don't know, maybe you don't know that the other person cares about this particular thing. So, what particular thing? The particular thing called the Packers Saints game, which I didn't watch because I had to work today. It was on while I was at work. Well, I got done with work a little bit early, stopped at a friend's house. Nobody at the friend's house spoiled the game. Nobody at work spoiled the game. And I even had some coworkers there, at least one coworker. I don't know if anybody else came up to me and didn't say anything, but I had at least one fucking coworker. And he said, "Oh man, I really want to say something about the game right now." Guess what he did after that? He didn't fucking say anything. He said he wanted to say something about the game. He wanted to say something about the game. Then I stopped at the other stand on the way home, and there was, well, that one's closer to Green Bay. This one person showed up at the other stand while I was stopped there, and I had to scream out loud real fast before anything was said because I don't know if he's in between halves. That's what he's doing now. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So I blurted out real loudly, "Hey, don't say anything about the game." And the guy looked at me a little cockeyed, and then he put a little smirk on his face and he said, "Oh, so you don't want me to tell you about all the injuries?" Quite obviously a joke. Quite obviously a joke. And then after he said the joke, which I guess it couldn't have been a joke, but it felt like a joke. The look that the guy gave made it feel like a joke. I was 100% certain with the way that I was taking it that it was a joke. So it didn't fucking necessarily matter if it was an actual joke. I took it as a fucking joke. It was a fucking joke. Anyway, after that, nobody said anything. Didn't know anything about the game. The only thing that I knew was that they played. And even then, I guess I couldn't have been 100% sure because inclement weather happens all the time in Florida. Game was played in Jacksonville between them and the Saints. So you never know. Tornado could show up at any moment. It happens. They're not very big in Florida, but it happens. It happens. Obviously, when the hurricanes are going to be there, and there wasn't supposed to be one today, so it was a beautiful day out. They played the game. I didn't listen to anything on the radio, and I mean literally nothing. I hooked up my phone via the Bluetooth so that I didn't have to risk any station, any fuck, because I live in Northeast Wisconsin. The stations are going to update you whether they have the game on the station or not on the station. They're going to say, "Oh, Packers are winning, end of the first. Oh, Packers are losing, end of the first. Oh, it's halftime. Packers are up. Packers are..." What the fuck ever. It doesn't fucking matter. Hello, Karen. It doesn't fucking matter what station you listen to, they're all going to update you in some sense. And fucking A, it seems like half of the goddamn stations, which is obviously an overestimate because I'm pissed off about it, half of the goddamn stations have the game on. So obviously you're going to know what the hell's going on. I avoided everything today, right up until the point where I got home. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Oh, got home, come in the door. The game is not on the TV because I recorded it at home. going to watch it on the DVR and cut out the commercials. Yay, me. Anyway, that was my plan. First thing I said, I walked in the door, I said, don't say anything about the game. Just don't say anything. I thought that it was an unbelievably simple request. It requires you, in fact, to do nothing. Nothing. How is it that difficult to do nothing? Like, I'm asking you, hey, how about this? Maybe next time I'll show up and be like, hey, hey, continue what you're doing and just avoid everybody. I could have watched it through my phone. I'd rather not watch anything on my phone if I can help it, but sometimes it's unbelievably convenient. Well, I guess the convenient way to not have the game spoiled for me before I've even started watching it, because it's not like there was 5 minutes left in the game and the score was 38-3 and somebody walked up and said, yeah, they lose the game, PB. That's a little different. But when I have yet to even begin and someone says, oh, yeah, I heard they lost. Why, does that not have to do with the game? It almost exclusively has to do with the game. You could have talked about anything else, literally anything else. God damn. I don't know how many other things on the fucking planet there are to talk about, but I asked you not to talk about one fucking thing, and I couldn't be admonished. Whatever. Right? Whatever. Spoilers don't fucking matter. It's not a big deal because it's not going to change the fact of how you watch the game, right? It couldn't possibly fucking do that. There's no way that knowing the outcome of a sporting event is going to affect how you watch the game. Or maybe it's an and or, let's say it that way, and or how you feel while you're watching the game. Like, sure, I play the fantasy football, so if I happen to catch a score of some game that I'm going to watch later that isn't the Packer game, I'm still gonna watch it to see how my players did in the game. But what I'm not going to do is go around blabbing the fucking result, because you know what? Just because you, and I'm pointing at nobody watching right now, I guarantee they're not watching. Anyway, pointing at you right now, just because you don't care about it, just because you don't understand how somebody can care about whatever the fuck it is. I don't care if it's a goddamn PBS cartoon. If I care about it, I don't want to know what happens before I'm ready to get involved. It's the same way that I avoid spoilers for movies and TV shows. Obviously, being on the internet, you have some time here, some time there, where you're going to catch something every now and again. You'll be like, oh, fuck, man. I wish I wouldn't have seen that. But that's you putting yourself into that position. If I really wanted to avoid whatever particular spoiler I saw for this movie, that movie, this fucking TV show, fuck, for this fucking video game, it doesn't matter. If I want to avoid the spoiler, I don't go on the internet, period. Well, I kind of had to go to the location where I had recorded the game so I could watch my recorded game, because I'm not wasting up all of my fucking high-speed internet on my phone to watch the football game, because then it makes everything else move so goddamn slow. You have no idea. GIFs don't load in Twitter when you don't have the high speed data. Yeah, it's unlimited, but they chop down the speed, those greedy fucking bastards. Anyway, I had to come home because I wanted to watch the game on the TV. And I thought to myself, fuck, man, just cover your bases and say something as you walk in the house. Just say it. Just put it out there and let them know not to do literally what you could do whatever the fuck else you want. Stab me with a goddamn fork. I didn't tell you not to stab me with a goddamn fork. You didn't have a problem not doing that, but I did tell you not to say anything about the game, and you had a problem doing that. Or maybe not. I don't fucking care. It doesn't matter which way you fucking say it, because they fucked up. Not to mention, after the fuck up, then I have to hear why the fuck up is acceptable. No, no, it's not. It just simply isn't. I gave you a simple fuck. I'll put it the authoritarian way. I gave you a simple fucking command, and the only thing that you wanted to do was fucking disobey the command, and you wonder why the person on the other end gets, let's just say, a little upset. You shouldn't fucking wonder, but you wonder anyways because you don't understand why somebody would care about whatever because you don't fucking care about whatever. Well, maybe, just maybe, you don't have to fucking care about that particular thing. Football, baseball, basketball. Fuck, it ain't gotta be a sport. TV, movie. You want to know the ending to every fucking movie? Like, do you love yourself a twist of an ending? Here's the fucking ending. Yeah, you wouldn't like that. You wouldn't like that at all. I don't know anybody out there that would fucking appreciate that. But alas, there are some people that don't give a fuck. Now, the question is what to do about these people that don't give a fuck. Because it's not like you're going to be able to avoid them forever. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. Let's sidetrack here a moment. Hughes Queen, I avoid spoilers when I work on a pay-per-view night and watch it when I get home. Exactly. And then how would you feel if you had to work SummerSlam night? You watched SummerSlam already, right? I don't want to fucking spoil it if you didn't. I mean, I assume because you're a wrestling fan that you're up to date. I'm gonna guess that you watched SummerSlam already. Now I gotta wait for forever for her answer to pop up in the chat. So we'll come back to that when she answers me. Anyway, Rose Matter says, "Was it me, PB? Was the person who spoiled the game? Was it you? No. I told you it was nobody. Nobody who is watching right now. Fuck, nobody who's going to possibly watch because for the most part, I avoided the internet today because you never know when they're going to sneak a fucking score in there on you. So I was like, oh, it's dangerous. Stick to the DMs. So I stuck to the DMs. And at least as far as I know, nobody spoiled it in the DMs. Not that I fucking remember reading. That would be fucking annoying. Really fucking annoying. Anyway, let's scroll back up. Scroll back up. That's me. That's a Irish pirate shirt. No, you didn't spoil it. Absolutely not. Anyway, I did watch it, and I'm still pissed at John Cena for losing. Well, John Cena had to lose because he wrestled Roman Reigns. Like there was no chance. No. Oh, the summer of Cena. He must have fucking won so many goddamn dark matches during the summer of Cena. It's not even funny. Holy shit balls. Oh, Sherry says it's illegal to stab them. Well, I mean, international. What are the laws in international waters? Like, take him out into the water. Life is good. Rebecca says, Sherry, then hire cat killers. Holy fuck. Gouda shred the like button, PB. Cheesehead. At least I think that's supposed to be cheese. I can't tell here. Just shows a square on the screen. Anyway, hello, Janie. Thank you for joining. I seen that you just sent me a message. Don't know why I'm talking in song. I can't read this out loud because it was sent to me in a DM, and I don't think that anybody would appreciate the DM being read aloud unless they said so ahead of time. Oh, radio silence was. I'm sorry, everybody. I was reading a message, and got a little distracted. Now I'm going to end up reading another message. Oh, this message. I don't need to give you the ins and outs of it, but this message says that I will be joined by a guest in the near future. How do you feel about that, everybody? Ooh la la. I mean, I do have a thing to show later. God, I hope that it's going to work. Please tell me that. Good. Okay. It said that there was a video. There's a video for it. So when my guest gets here, silence again. When my guest gets here, I'll bring that sumbitch up and then we can all watch it together because you don't fuck with a bear. That's all I'm going to tell you. You do not fuck with a bear. Q's Queen, I know. So now I hope Brock Lesnar wins. See, now, once again, oh, I don't see how that's going to happen. What I said I wanted was not necessarily for Brock Lesnar to win because that's setting the bar a little too high when you're wrestling against Roman. Anyway, when you're wrestling against Roman Reigns, I just want him to beat the ever living shit out of him and make him bleed the way he did the last time I remember them two wrestling. That's all that I hope for. Like, there's not supposed to be blood in WWE, but I would appreciate very, very much if there was some Samoan blood on that canvas. Yes, please. Oh, Janie Davis says, PB, you can sing to me. Thanks for respecting my privacy. Wait, was that supposed to rhyme? It rhymed. Sing to me, privacy. Why? Yeah, it's halfway a rhyme. It's halfway a rhyme. Whatever. Oh, what is this? What's up, bitchy unicorn? Did I miss you popping up earlier? Did I miss that? Scrolling up the chat. That's not the greatest singing, but whatever. It's fine. Bitchy unicorn says, I heard of some nice people saying hi to me. Lol. Might as well say hi to PB in person. Wait a second. You're going to click on the link? Because is having you on and not General Zod an option? Because if that's an option and I didn't know about it, depressing. I would have been using that option a while ago. Sherry says, I still find it hard to believe Sable is married to Brock Lesnar. I know, what a lucky guy. Like, fully loaded, 1997. Look it up. I was a boy. Life is good. Greatest pay-per-view ever. Greatest pay-per-view ever. Just ask Jerry the King Lawler. He'll fucking tell you. Sure, it's seared into his fucking mind. Oh man, that's they don't make pay-per-views like they used to. That's for sure. What? Q's queen. Yeah, he treats her like a queen. Unlike Mark Marrow, I added Mark, when she was married to him, Sherry. Boom, boom. Hell yes. Hell yes. I mean, you gotta treat the beast like a king, or else domestic violence. Like, do you want some light domestic violence from Brock Lesnar? This is a joke, people. This is a joke. There's not going to be any domestic violence. But, I mean, do you want violence from Brock Lesnar? Because I don't want any violence from Brock Lesnar. Unless it's on Roman Reigns. Then I would love all of the violence. Be right back. Talk to me soon. Okay, Christine. Okay, that's fine. I'll see you in a little bit. Q's Queen, I worked WrestleMania 2 years ago and avoided spoilers until I got home. It really makes it sound like you worked at WrestleMania, the way that you typed that up. I know that you didn't, but yes. Oh, here we go. Rose Matter, Sherry, I'm gay, but I do have Sable's Playboy. Was just, wait a second. Wait a second. Something about what? 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 Wait, wait. Rose is gay, but she has Sable's Playboy. Well, that makes sense if you're gay, Rose. Like that, unless Rose is a man, which okay, that makes way more sense. Holy fuck! I was like, wait a second. If you're gay, why wouldn't you fucking want to? I was like, my God, this something about this is very, very backwards. I'm so confused. I'm not confused anymore. That makes sense. I was not gay either, and curious as well. Very curious. Sable was my first girl crush. Fuck, maybe me too. That's a good question. Hmm, who before that? Who before that? Before 1997. It's actually probably a little before 97, but whatever. That's not the point. The point is, she's still hot. That's the point. That is the point. Janie Davis says, bitchy unicorn. PB is the other, what? Other quarter or what? What the fuck? What are we talking about here? What did I miss? Da 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 da. Curious. Janie Davis, funny. Wait, what did I miss? Oh, bitchy unicorn. Hey, Zod's better three quarters. Oh, I'll take it. I will take it. That's what happens when you're a C-level villain, right? What is up, mad non-compliant squirrel?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, I'm pissed off.
Packers?
Twofold. Twofold.
I'm sorry.
Twofold. Fold number one, which is today at least, the smaller anger they lost. Right?
Yeah.
Smaller anger. Larger anger. I avoided spoilers all day until I got home, walked in the house. The only thing that I said after I walked in the house was, don't say anything about the Packer game. And then my sister's boyfriend immediately said, yeah, I heard they lost.
Oh
I thought
God.
I thought I thought, now I can tell a little bit of the longer story because I don't know, for the first 20 some minutes, I was telling the short version the long way, if that makes sense.
That's fair. Hi, chat.
Right. Oh, you can say hello to the chat.
Oh, hello to my favorite unicorns in chat. And
Indeed.
Billie Jean. Hi, Billie Jean. Hello, Shalana. Sorry, I'm popping all over the place. Shalana. Hello, Janie Davis. I'm also part of Zod's Better Portions. I ran out of percentages. Oh my.
No, she said that bitchy unicorn. She said hi to Zod's better 3/4, and then a little while later she said I was the other quarter.
Aw, see that's thank you, Janie. Hello, Patty R. Oh, Karen. She's my favorite Karen. She's the only Karen that matters.
Ah,
That is how I
fair.
see it. She's Alpha Karen. Hi, Rose and Becca. I don't know if Becca's still here. She might be.
She's here,
She's chilling.
catting around somewhere.
Ah, there she is. She's purring.
See, told
Okay.
you, catting around.
Alpha.
Anyway, as I was saying,
I'm
I
sorry.
came into the house,
Mhm.
told him not to say anything, and
Mhm.
he's a baseball fan. He doesn't really watch the NFL, like hardly at all. At least as far as I know. He's from California. He's definitely not a Packers fan. But I thought that I had enough courtesy. Like when you ask somebody not to do something, that means you can literally do all of the other things. Like literally all of them.
I
All of the
guess you
other
had to
things you
be
can think about.
more specific for his boyfriend brain. Like, don't say
Apparently.
anything.
That's what I
Oh,
said.
Bitchy's heading out to go pick up Zod from work. All right, be careful on the
Godspeed.
road. Have fun, and I guess get a tortilla and slap Zod with it for love and affection.
It doesn't have to be filled with anything.
No, it can be a flat tortilla.
Yes.
It
He'll
makes a great
appreciate it.
noise.
True. Hit the record button. Send it to us.
Your cum
Just us.
squirrel slapped eldest squirrel a long time ago with a tortilla because he was being a sassy 16-year-old.
Oh.
And and he happened, the only thing in reach and within hand was a tortilla, so he just gave him a good pop with a tortilla.
And what are you going to do?
It made a great noise.
Pop.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Bitchy said she's going to slap Zod with something. That's code.
Oh, shit. Anyway,
Okay.
so
So
I
he
say, I said,
oh,
don't say anything about the Packer game. And he goes, oh, I heard they lost. Well, I just assumed, I was like, oh, he doesn't know. He's just screwing around. In the meantime, I was working my way back into the kitchen away from the living room because I had forgotten my breakfast burrito in the car from earlier today. I was like, oh, fuck, I was going to eat that. I got to go back out and get it.
right.
So I go back out and get the burrito, assuming that my request is going to actually be followed through when I come in the house this time, right?
Mhm.
This time it was, I'm sorry, PB, I didn't know that, what the fuck did he say exactly? I didn't know that you cared that much about it. And I was like,
Oh
holy
my
fucking shit.
god.
So I was pretty sure that you were joking when you told me that they lost. But now that I've come back into the house and you have to apologize for it, now I'm 100% certain that you're telling the truth. Fucking A, man.
Oh my god.
I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. How hard is it to not do one thing? I mean, like I said earlier to the chat, I said, you could have stabbed me with a fucking fork. I didn't tell you not to do that, but you didn't have a problem not doing that. But the thing I asked you not to do, immediate, fucking immediately.
Right.
I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me, guy. Unbelievable. And then, and then it gets better because you missed this part, and I don't know if I laid it out exactly like this earlier. After that, I get the excuse of, well, he didn't know that you meant it like that. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck do you mean, meant it like that? I said one fucking sentence with zero context on purpose, hoping that the simpler the message, the better, right? You get what I'm
Well,
stepping on?
yeah, basic, like
Right.
don't spoil the game for me. I've been at work all day.
Well, I just said, don't say anything about it. Like anything that could possibly come into your head that has to do with the football game, you don't say that because it has to do with the football game. And I asked you not to say anything. What I was told after the fact was I was supposed to add all of that stuff. Don't
Mm,
say anything. I've recorded it and I have yet to watch it. Like I was supposed to add all of that.
well,
Anyway,
he
the,
could have just shut the fuck up.
that would have been nice. The
And I say that with
excuse.
respect. I mean, the truth is, like, if I know someone's a football fan, they haven't seen a game, I assume by now you would have saw or read or whatever, right? Seen the game.
Sure.
So, because I talked to both the beef and Com Squirrel earlier, and they were like, "Oh yeah." So they brought it up to me, and I was like, "Uh oh, not a good day." But Beef's talking about how like he has sex gods on his team. I don't really know. I did. I I don't know. But I did give Beef like the link, so we'll see if he'll be able to pop on in shortly because I think
Ooh.
he's watching the Bears get slaughtered, or that should have just ended. I don't know. I don't know. Oh,
I mean, that's what the Bears do.
yeah, that's their job right now. Um, Planet Goose Queen says for Squirrel, hashtag fuck Andrew Cuomo, hashtag fuck Gavin Newsom. God bless.
Recall.
Does that is that actually going to happen though? I don't know where we're at right now.
Ooh.
Shalena mentioned it on
The
Wednesday
last
last week.
poll that I heard them talk about on all of my podcasts, because everybody talks about the same fucking poll, but they all have their own opinions on it.
Mhm.
But the numbers were all still the same. The last that I heard, it was, oh shit, 49 people or 49% approve, 49% disapprove. So it's them 2% that are going to make the difference whether or not you get to 50 plus 1. You know
Yeah.
how that works, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was Biden was supposed to be going out to California on a speaking.
Oh my God, I hope so.
From what I understand, he was supposed to, if he hasn't already, he was supposed to go to, I'm sure it'll be this week, um, go out there and do his little speeches. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. That guy.
Like he's going to be stumping for Gavin?
Yes. You got enough
Oh,
celebrities doing it too,
not
man.
nothing that I would love more than for him stumping for Gavin. That is not going to bring him more votes in California. You already got those people that love Biden hooked.
It'll be pretty much just Biden mumbling, you know,
And
and
the
then he
war.
whispers. He whispers, which is so
Pay
bizarre.
them more.
Oh my God. He does. He whispers to people like very condescendingly. Like
That's
somebody
when
when
he
they,
thinks he's being serious.
it's so spooky. Shelena's going to look it up real quick to see what the numbers are at right now as far as,
Excellent.
yeah, because
Excellent.
we were talking, she brought it, we were talking about it on her stream on Wednesday with Jenny. And yeah, we weren't, it was still kind of like, fluxed, you know what I mean? Down the line, basically, with those, indecisive 2%, I guess. But I don't know. He's an ass. He's an absolute ass. And I mean, everywhere, it seems like we have a lot of assholes. But then at the same time, I guess it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's always been that way. We just started noticing it more because
I
there's just
mean,
more
maybe
crisis.
it's, I was going to say, I don't know if it's necessarily that the number of assholes has gone up, but the size of them has definitely increased. Like maybe it's just like the number of assholes hasn't gotten any larger, but the volume per asshole is so much larger. Their side just has more weight to it right now.
So you're saying assholes have met inflation.
Holy shit.
So like
Every kind of inflation.
we have so much inflation, it's in our politics, it's in everything.
It's
The
in
asshole
everything.
commodity's high.
It's amazing.
Oh
Anyway,
my god.
the excuse that I got for the misunderstanding of don't say anything about the football game, more specifically the Packer game. I said
Right.
Packer game was, well, he thought that you had seen the game and you didn't want to talk about it. So he was just saying, oh, yeah, I saw it too, and they lost. Okay, except that the request part is still the fucking same. So let's say I watched the game. Let's say I watched the game fucking twice already because I'm some type of, what, the person who likes to take the pain is the masochist or the sadist?
Uh, masochist, I thought, but you could
Okay.
be either or in a
I
sense.
always get,
It
I
depends on what
always
you're
get them
getting.
backwards. I would have watched the Packers lose twice because maybe it didn't happen the first time, so I replayed the game, I watched it again, and they lost by the exact same amount of points the second time as they did the first time. It was very unfortunate. Anyway, let's assume I've watched the game already, and I then say, don't say anything about the game. What the fuck does that change exactly?
Not a lot.
Like, hey, I watched the game already. I saw how it played out. I'm super pissed off about it because they got fucking destroyed and that goddamn prima donna played like shit. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I asked you not to say anything about the game because I'm already pissed off about them losing. Maybe, just maybe, don't bring it up again. Oh, I remember the other thing that he said before. Before I walked out the house, which I was still on the fence of whether he was joking or not. I was pretty sure he was joking because he doesn't watch NFL. As I was walking out the house, he says, if it makes you feel any better, the Brewers won or threw a no hitter. I don't remember exactly what the fuck he said. Didn't really matter because baseball sucks. Anyways, after he said that, I was like, wait a second. As I was walking outside, why would I need to feel better? I didn't watch the game yet. And then that rummaged around in my head for a while, and I was like, God fucking damn, he wasn't joking. And then when I came back into the house, he apologized, and I was like, you motherfucker. You would have been better off saying, I was joking. I have no idea what happens. Just fucking lie to me. Like, I'm not a big fan of lying, as you know, but
Mhm.
I'll take one here and there if it's going to fucking move me along. What is this?
This is something that Shalena sent. This is from Shalena. This is the recent news on the recall from California. So September 8th, recall election seeking to remove California Governor Gavin Newsom will take place on September 14th.
Holy 46 candidates.
Oh my God, you should see. Oh, it's magical. The list is insane. Of all these
I only
people.
know one of them.
Oh, they got a porn star on there. They got
Oh, I figured they would. There's always one porn star that runs in the recall. There's got to be an actor or two that's in there. The only one I know is Larry.
oh, okay. And then you have don't forget, you got oh damn, what's their name? Um used to be male, now a female. I forgot. It's the Olympic guy. Female.
Olympic.
Whatever.
Oh, da 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 da.
Sorry, my brain just
Bruce Jenner.
yes, yes. She's on there.
Yes, he
A-
is.
And anyways.
Yeah, there's
So
radio host Larry Elder.
oh my God. So
Anyway,
YouTuber, there's a bunch of people. So it says recall supporters say Newsom mishandled the state's response to coronavirus pandemic, did not do enough to address the state's homelessness rate, and supported sanctuary city policies and water rationing. In a March 2021 response, Newsom called the effort a Republican recall backed by the RNC, anti-mask and anti-vax extremists and pro-Trump forces who want to overturn the last election and have opposed much of what we have done to fight the pandemic. You know what, Newsom? Shut the fuck up. That has
he
nothing to do with
he did
nothing.
stuff to fight the pandemic. Like if he did something to fight the pandemic, it must have been stuff that actively, what do I want to say, made it worse because Ron DeSantis didn't do anything, and California was worse than Florida. But whatever.
So here's the actual updates here. It says
Here we
September
go.
7th. YouGov released a poll finding that 44% of voters supported the recall and 56 opposed the recall. Of the recipients, 38% said they left or planned to leave the candidate question blank. Larry Elder, Republican, led candidate polling at 20%.
Yeah, he's like way ahead of everybody else. Essentially, if it happens, he wins
Yeah.
because
So anyway,
nobody's going to be close. Well, that
thank you.
number's a little higher than I thought it was. Shit.
Yeah, and that's
Must be
the other
making
thing.
the push with his slick hair.
Shit. I think it'll be interesting to see where it's at after they actually have the election. The truth is that it's not everybody. And that's the thing was you see the list of candidates, it's both Democrats and Republicans that are like, get him out of here. So him and saying, oh, it's Trump, that horse has been beaten. Try something new. Try
Yeah,
something
what
new.
the fuck does this have to do with Trump? What?
Because he's
Huh.
claiming that these people are all I'm like, no, that's not true.
Trump claims a lot of things that has nothing to do with what's actually happening. At least that's what I'm told. So why would this be any different?
You can only beat that scapegoat for so long because in the end, it's about their
What?
response now. I
Whoa,
think,
whoa, 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 whoa!
huh?
Don't sell them short until like January 19th, 2017. I swear to God, Obama said I did a lot, but it was George Bush's fault. Swear to God, he did.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
That's 8 fucking years later, and he was like, "Well, I was handed a bad situation." I was like, "Yeah, but what did you do?" Oh, you ruined health insurance. That's nice. Because having health insurance is great when you can't get health care. Like, there's a big disconnect with people when it comes between health insurance and health care, but whatever.
It's Newsom's just like desperate because he knows that like the homelessness in general, right? That's gotten horrifically rough in California, and I have friends that go out to San Diego a lot for doctors or hospital appointments, specialists and stuff. And they're telling me how bad it's gotten in San Diego, and it's not safe. There are areas where it's just not safe, and a lot of them are pouring air. A lot of the homelessness is pouring into Arizona across the border. I've heard a lot about that too. Oh, Shalana says Planet Q's queen. Nope, it's also Democrats. I want to recall him. LOL at popculturepb.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, if it's anything above, gosh, 30%, there's no way it could only be Republicans because the numbers don't work out. Like they had to get Democrats to sign the recall petition, or they would have not gotten enough signatures. So
right.
he can say whatever he wants, but looking at the numbers, it's literally impossible for it to only be one side, especially the Republican side in California.
And here's an honest question, okay? And this is for chat too. Do you think that Joe Biden going to California and speaking to the people is going to make a difference in favor of Newsom? Because I personally don't think that would be I don't know, a feather in the cap of anybody. I wouldn't want that
That's
dude talking on my
right,
behalf.
right.
I'm
I
just saying.
think, I
Oh,
think, which nobody knows where the hell she is, but I think that he would get a boost if the vice president went out there because, at least from what I can tell, she can actually read the words off the teleprompter, and I don't see her going out there saying, "I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get lost up here. I gotta refer to my card. They gave me a card. It says it's nap time. No questions. That's what he fucking
Oh,
does. Like, I don't see how it's gonna end well. Or it would be nice if we could figure out what exactly this guy is on when he's all jacked up. Do you get what I'm talking about? Because I didn't notice it at first until it was pointed out by me by one of the disembodied voices on the internet that I listened to, which, if I could remember which one it was, I would tell you, but I don't. One of them said, what the hell's going on with Joe Biden here? Because, he has these days where he's just pudding.
pudding.
And then there's other days where he might not be the sharpest fucking tack, but he's sure the bounciest fucking tack. And you're like, where the fuck did this guy get all this energy from? Because yesterday he was, need a nap. Like
God.
I've never seen. I mean, I swear to God, uh, he's given the same level of energy that we get out of Ronald Reagan right now.
Oh man.
Just so everybody is aware, Ronald Reagan is dead. Been dead for a long time.
Yeah. It's interesting how like politics always kind of goes up against what's the word? The ghosts of presidents past. And it's just insane. Oh, Rose Matter. Do you want to read
Here
that?
in Pittsburgh, they built a shelter for our homeless where they can go to get off the street, take showers, also mental health services as well.
Oh my God, what is that? Constructive? What? What a, you know,
Interesting.
I mean, I think that's a great step. That's a wonderful step forward. There's so
Like,
many
I'm
places
all
that could
for
use some more.
shelters. All for shelters. I'm not all for the style of shelters that they do in San Francisco, where they're like, yeah, everybody come down to this place. We'll let you do your drugs. Wait,
Yeah.
what? What? Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. You just invited a bunch of heroin addicts to get high together, and you're not going to, I don't know, turn them over to anybody. You're going to protect them so that they can continue to do this. Like, this is not okay. I'm not saying that they got to go to prison, but they need to be going to some type of facility where they can get help. And yeah, for some of them, that's going to be prison because they don't want the other kind of help.
It's unfortunate that it's just a vicious cycle with homelessness and drug addiction. And I don't like, one of the things I definitely don't care for, and it's pissed me off over the last few years is this, well, let's just go ahead and let them do drugs. Let's legalize drugs, right? Make it all legal, whether that's meth or crystal or whatever the hell it is. And I'm like, okay, there's this war on drugs. There's a reason why these drugs are illegal. It's beyond just, oh well, I know it's like it's a double-edged sword of fighting drugs, right? But to
True.
legalize them, I just I don't think that that's a good idea. Like when it comes to marijuana, I don't see anything wrong with marijuana at all. But when I see stuff that's, I don't know, man-made, for example, crystal meth or whatever, you know, whatever that is. There's all types of like drugs
We
that
can
are
go
made.
with crack. That's got
There we
enough
go.
into it.
I mean, that's the part that I just cannot get on board with. I cannot get on board with legalizing any of that because it is extremely harmful. It's beyond alcohol harmful. There's a hell, and it's faster. Let's put it that way. It's faster than alcohol. Even though
All
alcohol can
right.
go pretty fast, I would say that, yeah, drugs are definitely up that alley. Becca says, I am so mad the death penalty is recalled. I'm so mad because I listened to a horrifying story this man who murdered his ex-wife and their autistic child. Yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
I
uh,
mean, I don't know, man. There's certain
he
things I
shot and stabbed the helpless child and used a certain
Pet
Gun
gun.
against. Oh, okay.
Wow.
I, I I have a hard time reading when you throw emojis in there. You could just use the words because they all mean the same.
Oh yeah, there's ice and dope. All of the man-made drugs, right? I just don't agree with legalizing them. I think it's very dangerous and I think it sets a precedence. There was this professor on the East Coast and I cannot recall what state. He was at some major, I don't know, university, and he's been on meth for a while, and he pretty much was saying how great it is and big supporter and very an open user. And he says that if you discriminate just to discriminate against someone like such as himself, he uses it day to day and it doesn't quote affect him, is racist and prejudice. And I thought, this motherfucker needs to have a seat. That's what he needs to do. It's just, like I said, it's beyond me that this is even a thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's, I don't know. Let people do what they want. Okay, we'll see how that goes with drugs. I think the problem is those seep into youth quite often and the poor quite often. And it just ravages the communities of all minorities and middle class to lower middle class. And it's the rich motherfuckers who they're doing coke. So that's a whole nother bracket.
Well, I mean, the question is,
Oh, fentanyl, yeah,
are
opiates, shit,
you,
opioids.
how concerned are you for the safety of the individual? Because if they don't care about themselves, and we're talking about a random person,
Right.
not like some family member or some friend that you've had for literally your entire life, some random person, or let's go the other end of the spectrum. That one fucking person from that one point in your life that you fucking despise, right?
Right.
Like, if they don't care about themselves enough to not kill themselves with a drug because they're like, yeah, I'm just going to get high off of this. Why am I supposed to care if they kill themselves with that drug? Because as far as I look at it, the drug use isn't, and obviously I don't have any numbers to back this up, this is a feeling. I don't think it would explode if you legalized everything. And I will ask you directly, if they legalize heroin,
Hmm.
are you, because it's legal, gonna go out and get some heroin and use it?
No.
No, neither am I. Just because it's legal doesn't mean that people are going to use it.
Oh yeah.
But since it's legal, it's a lot easier to, what I want to say, have quality control, because how many people overdose on whatever the drug is cut with compared to the actual drug? Or maybe not necessarily overdose, but have an adverse reaction that leads to death.
Well, here's the issue though. And this is where the drug double-edged sword comes into play. There's several. The big one is that would require managing the border and the cartels, right? So that
Oh,
means,
for sure.
would that actually happen? I doubt it. I do not believe
Nah,
for a minute
man,
that they would
borders
do that.
open.
So that means there would still be illegal substances, meaning quote unregulated drugs coming over the border, and probably 50 times higher and worse, because people are going to be looking for bigger highs. Then you're dealing with something that, as far as addiction, is even more aggressive and dangerous than it is, let's say, with alcohol. Because with alcoholism, I mean, I'm not a big fanatic about alcoholism at all, obviously. And, people drink, I'm fine with it. You do what you got to do because they can regulate that to a point. Now, the thing that's similar with, like, I hate it when somebody compares cigarettes, right, to meth or cigarettes to drinking. And I've had these fuckers do that shit before. And I'm like, listen, these are different brackets and different boats. Like, if I don't have a cigarette,
There's a reason there's different
I'll be a
classes
moody
of
bitch, but
drugs.
I'm not going to be like violent and seeking blood. Um, if you're an alcoholic or somebody who's very codependent on drinking or drugs, right? Whatever that drug is, pick it, right? There's all types now. You can be prone to violence. Or how about this? You get behind the wheel of a car. I know I can smoke a cigarette and drive and still have my mind and be stable and completely fine.
You're
Whereas if somebody's,
probably more stable on the cigarette.
yeah, definitely, especially if it's long driving. So, but if I'm, if somebody's drinking and driving, there's probably a good chance they're going to kill somebody or hurt themselves, or kill themselves, whatever. The same thing with drugs. So it's like you're not in control of your own mind under certain substances at a certain point. So that's the issue I
Oh
have is
yeah.
that, yeah, if you legalize it, yeah, I do see your point. I do agree with that. Yeah, I mean, it takes away a lot of the illegal substances to a point off the streets. It helps regulate it to a degree, but we're still dealing with a lot of outside and opportunistic sources. And if it's going to be regulated like the U.S. government's regulating marijuana, shit. You're still going to have
Mhm.
people growing their own if they're able to in the state that they live in. You're going to still have people doing their own thing because the regulations are still bullshit. So it's
Well,
it's about
I
making that
I
money,
would
right?
I would trust the poppies that I grew myself.
Right. Hey,
I'm
Christine.
not saying that you have to trust them, but I will trust my flowers. I mean,
Right.
I think the
Excuse me.
difference between a cigarette and, let's say, alcohol is when somebody pictures a cigarette, that's all they're picturing is you with your one cigarette, correct?
Hmm. Yeah.
Whereas with the alcohol, typically you're not picturing somebody, right? You might be picturing them holding the one drink, but in reality, they're using the entire bottle or the entire case or whatever so that they can get the high off of it.
Hmm.
Whereas I have a feeling that if cigarettes tasted better. And I mean better than they already do because, yeah, most of them are delicious. That's not the point. The point is, imagine if they tasted like, I don't know, what's your favorite cereal, Squirrel? Fruity Pebbles?
Fruity Pebbles is good, or Cocoa Pebbles.
Ah, okay. There you go. So imagine if it was the flavor of Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles, and the flavor just went on and on and on. Like you have a serious problem because you saw the movie Thank You for Smoking, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You can have a serious problem with nicotine,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
nobody ever smokes the entire pack at once. You don't light all 20 cigarettes and then go to fucking inhale.
No, you're just getting like moderate doses of nicotine
Right.
with
Which
the
is where I
tobacco.
would say that everything, and I mean everything, all of it, every single
Hmm.
thing on the fucking planet is safe in moderation. All of
Uh,
it.
Ro- Rose Matter says you can't force people to quit smoking. History is tobacco built this country. Yeah,
Mmm, so delicious.
kind of like how like poppies help build Afghanistan. Oh my!
Afghanistan? Right.
But the difference
It's
is
only the entire country.
poppies have like multiple uses, not just opiates, opioids, whatever. But it's one of those things. It's kind of like how they treated hemp for so long, and here we are now. Finally, how long did it take to go full circle on this shit? Jeez, you know.
Ooh, because hemp is
uh,
the reason that it's illegal, which is hilarious. And then hemp was the first type of cannabis plant that they legalized. I was laughing so fucking hard.
It was a major crop next to tobacco, you know, back in the day, way
Yeah,
back in the day,
and you
you know.
can make almost anything with it as far as textiles.
Hmm.
They were like, "Oh man, it's
Clothing.
really gonna." It's yes, paper products. That was the other big one. At least the one that I did the research on was that
Yeah.
big timber did not want hemp, so they're like, "We gotta make it illegal. It's just like weed."
Yeah.
I was like, "Holy fuck, man! Okay, right. This hemp is just like the marijuana that I was looking for."
Right.
No. Like, yeah, the plant is in the same, fuck, what's the lowest thing? Species? I don't remember.
The what?
I
I'm
never.
sorry?
One of the, all of those categories that they have for the different plants and animals on Earth. You got your genus, your species, your kingdom, all that bullshit. It's in
I
the
don't
same
know.
species of plant. Like it would
Pretty
be the
much.
last one on the list. They're very close to each other, very different at the same time. Like, holy fucking shit, man. Maybe do a little bit of research. They're like, no, 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 no. We don't have to do research. The timber company did research, so we'll just go with that. And I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
You're like, wait, they did research to reaffirm that they were going to lose money, and you were like, yeah, yeah, we can't have that. Can't, no, 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 no. Timber people got to make their bank.
And Karen
Illegal.
says that's why they banned hemp. It was the ultimate product.
That's what I'm saying, man. You do everything with that fucking thing. Everything. Like, I mean, you seen Cheech and Chong? They built a fucking car out of it. Did you not see that one?
Yeah, I did. I was
Okay.
reading Janie's comment. She goes, "You'd have to smoke a joint the size of a telephone pole to get high on hemp." No shit.
Right. You gotta freaking distill it down and take a shot of it. Then you can get high on him. It'll be good. You'll love it. It'll taste horrible. Oh,
In
it's not
order
gonna
to
be any
ban
good.
hemp, they made marijuana illegal because it comes from the hemp plant, right? They had a war
Correct.
on it. They had a war on it. Rose
I have
Matter
to
says
go back
history.
to a comment. Go ahead.
Rose Matter says history. The three major import exports were tobacco, cotton, and slavery. The last two went on the wayside. Tobacco was on the Native American contribution. Yeah.
Oh, the natives. She's talking about the Indians.
Hmm.
This was
But
the comment I wanted to go back to.
okay.
Addiction is a mental issue. Everyone tries something, but some people can't stop. I'm still on the fence of addiction being a mental issue. Like, does that mean that my strong will is a mental issue because I can just quit? That's what I did with cigarettes. They were like, hey, you have to quit smoking cigarettes so you can get surgery. And I said, that sucks. And I quit.
Yeah, I do think addiction is a mental issue. I think it can be connected to, it depends on a lot of factors, like if it's emotionally tied to stress or maybe a specific situation, like you're using it as a replacement for something else. Like, people who have stopped drinking, they'll go to smoking, they just kind of transfer it over so that way they can get off of liquor and then eventually get off of cigarettes. But it's like you have to emotionally transfer the addiction to something else or find something to fulfill that addiction. Some people I do think are more susceptible to addiction than others. I know in my family that's definitely a mental thing, you know, like people who are alcoholics or drug
Okay.
addicts or
Right.
whatever, right? But they're more susceptible to it because of how their, let's say, mental state is. Um, whatever they're trying to fill themselves with or to replace something with or to, I don't know. There's something to that. I do agree with that part. Now, I don't think it's the
So
same for
there's
everyone, though, but I do believe it's common.
so there's no solution for it then, right? Other than lobotomy.
Well, there's solutions. I think therapy is part of it, meaning
I
you have to
don't
get help,
I don't
you know?
think that therapy can fix, let's for lack of a better term, the screw that is loose. I don't think they can screw it tight with therapy because I'm told you have an addictive personality. You're going to totally change the person's personality. You're going to get them hooked on a bunch of legal pills to stop them from being
See,
addicted to stuff because then they're just, like you said, they've just moved their addiction from one place to another. Now, I
correct.
don't necessarily have a problem with that. In fact, a lot of those things can be positive, but it doesn't really help to go from, well, I used to smoke cigarettes. Now I eat donuts. So instead of dying of cancer, I will die of diabetes.
I've always wondered, and I know this is a little deep thought on this, but when it comes to addiction, right? I've always kind of looked at it in a perspective of this. Like, they say, okay, well, you can take therapy, you can go take mental health classes or whatever that'll help you with that particular addiction, right? But I've wondered in many cases, like when they immediately put someone on antipsychotics or something, right? Whatever antidepressant there is, and the doctors they still have them in therapy. They're still going through the trials of it. I don't feel like that's a good method from the beginning unless you have something very severe mental illness like schizophrenia, something that's really adverse, right? Where it's really difficult to work with. But sometimes I feel like the mental health industry has been just they're behind, they remain behind, where
Well, I
they
mean, aren't
if
you always going to be behind when they essentially invent a new mental illness every other month? They're like,
I
no,
know.
no, 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 this is a mental illness now. Didn't
I
used to
think
be, is now.
I feel like they've created these new subtexts of mental illness too because it's their way of explaining why they can't fix someone. And they said, well, we did this technique and it kind of worked, but it's on the individual and obviously they need to be on pills because pills are the catch-all fix, right? It's kind of a
Sure.
conflict I have though, because it's like once again you're just moving it around, like I said earlier, where you're kind of like moving it from one section to the next as far as um, addiction, like moving the addiction from something else to quote ease it so it's lesser than an addiction, meaning harmful addiction, but you're still addicted, so you still have that part of your personality. So they're trying to work on those things, but it's still not so constructive. I feel like I've heard more stories of like people going to therapy. They're given pills, they're given all these things, but they're still a train wreck and they're still trying to get through everything, but it ends up not really working out. In the end, they end up returning to whatever addiction they had or bad behavior, whatever that negative behavior was, right? So it's kind of
Right.
like the mental health industry, instead of, I don't know, this is a double-edged sword, what I'm saying. So I understand the contradiction of what I'm saying. I almost feel like they're adding more insult to injury than they are actually curing or assisting people in the proper manner. Instead, they're just diagnosing them, labeling them, putting them into a stack and saying, we'll get to you eventually. I mean, that's kind of how it
Well,
feels sometimes.
agreed.
Hi, Landon.
Definitely agreed with that. What's up, Landon? Is this a real thing?
Hmm.
Is there an
This
addiction gland?
I've heard of this.
Because if there's a fucking addiction gland, you might want to go ahead and, remove that one. Just take it out. Because
Uh,
being
r-
addicted to anything is not okay.
Yeah, if this is talking about brain. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of that. I mean, there's parts of the brain that are more susceptible to addiction, but I do believe that some forms of it are, I don't know. I would even go on a limb and say a good majority are actually hereditary, but it depends on the trauma of the individual or if they've had anything in their lives currently, right? Because things will affect how we naturally react to things. But I do think that there's hereditary addiction, but it doesn't give it an excuse, right? It's not an excuse form, like a permission slip to
Right.
be an asshole or
So
whatever. Excuse me.
my genetics are the reason why I am the way that I am, and it can't be helped. And you have to accept me that way, or you're a bigot. Wait, you can't be a bigot. I'm a white male. Doesn't matter what my problems are.
It's true.
It's very true. It's sad, but it's very true. They're at the bottom of the barrel now, and nobody's going to admit that. Only because it's been ingrained in people that we have some of this double privilege. And I say that because we're white and male. It's funny watching them play the oppression Olympics on the other end of who's more oppressed between the white woman and the black man because they both have privilege, but then they're both oppressed at the same time. You see the problem with this?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous and none of it makes any sense.
hmm
It doesn't necessarily have to do with addiction, but it's another train of thought that my head jumped down.
You know, they're talking about nail polish. Like I used to chew my nails a lot too. As a stress, it was stress related.
Oh, I
Um,
chew the fuck out of them. They're delicious.
and I guess that they were talking about that gross. Janie was like, I tried that gross nail polish that's supposed to make you stop, but I just had a bad taste in
Mm,
my mouth until it wore off. Right.
bingo.
If you're gonna chew, you're gonna chew your nails. But I started chewing gum instead. Anytime I felt that, because it's subconscious, you really have to fight it. So I started doing that, and that kind of helped me from chewing my nails. But chewing gum all the
Aha.
time isn't good for you either. Blah blah. Who gives a shit?
Nothing all of the time. Everything is okay for you in moderation. That's what I
Right.
said. Everything's okay with you. Maybe, I don't know if this is possible, and maybe the treatment is the same. But what is the difference between treating somebody to either make their addiction subside or break their addiction instead of treating them to increase their willpower? Is this the same treatment?
Maybe. Yeah, I guess it
Because
depends.
because I never hear anybody talk about the other side of the coin. We're like, yeah, we're going to help you with your addiction. Maybe you should help them with their willpower. Like if you can help them with their willpower, I mean, even the dog can be trained to sit there with the treat on its nose and not
Right.
move. And the only thing that it wants, like the last dog that I seen do this, it's sitting there, treat on the nose, it just starts drooling, just drooling because it's like, I'm gonna get this treat, I'm gonna get this treat, I'm gonna get this treat. But he didn't say that I can yet. But I'm gonna get this treat, I'm gonna get this treat, I'm
You
gonna get
know,
this treat.
I think the difference between animals and or like let's say canines and felines and human race, right, is that it has a lot to do with our society and culture, right? So we have a very instant gratification type society where it's about self comfort. We do a lot of things to comfort ourselves, whether we realize it or not, right? And we by nature do that. We'll seek ways to comfort ourselves and we'll find justification to do that. So it's kind of like with addiction, it's easily fed with society, meaning drinking, drug use, partying, sleeping around, all those types of
Ooh, all
behaviors
the
that,
fun stuff.
yeah, exactly. All the fun stuff is either illegal, fattening, there's this great quote about it,
That's
but
one of right. All the fun stuff is the seven deadly sins.
pretty much. But it's like anything when in
Bastards.
excess is when you start having all these other things. But stress is a silent killer. It causes a lot of problems. So it's like we're always looking for ways, right, within ourselves and outside of ourselves to kind of like ease stress. So that can be found in food. I have friends that are addicted to food. You know, it's a self-soothing thing. Oh,
I'm
I can
only
have
addicted to the hash browns at McDonald's.
yep. So I mean, it's yeah, Patty R says, I think therapy is supposed to help
Oh,
people to help themselves. It just doesn't get that for some people. Yeah, I agree. Like people will go into therapy and they're like, well, you're going to fix me. No, that's not how it works. It's
oh,
really involved in you too. Like you're the one picking up the bulk here. All
I'm not the
the,
person to talk to about therapy. I fucking hate it.
it's, I think it's very constructive. It just depends on your state of mind. You have to be ready to go. That's the big one. You can't just go and go through the motions because you're not going to last a week or 2 sessions
Well,
even, you
I've
know?
I went through a whole lot of therapy over the course of many years. Come to find out, it was because I was a bully. Now, if I was a bully, that would have been news to me and the person who I was allegedly bullying, my best friend. I'm pretty confident that I wasn't a bully to him, mostly because he said the same shit back to me all the time. The only problem was his parents, who I still know, they're cool people for the most part. They could only hear me, they could not hear him because I
Mm,
talk louder. So it sounded like one guy berating the other guy almost all the time because they don't hear any of the jabs coming back because that's how fucking guys talk to each other.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, yeah. I've heard how they talk to
It's pretty
beef
fucking
with.
crass.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm like, I don't want to hear any of this. Like, I feel like I'm witnessing a crime most of the time when they're going at
Like,
each other, you know?
yelling "Let's go" and flexing is the very childish stuff about
Yeah, that's like the bottom of the that's what Beef did earlier because it was NFL day, so,
it.
yeah.
Oh,
He just kept
it
coming in here like Randy
was.
Savage so he did this 3
Oh
times.
yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Let's go." I'm like, "Get
let's
out."
go
I'm like, "Why are you?" Because he just comes popping in here. I'm like, "What are you doing, man?"
into your office.
Yes. I was in here earlier and he out of nowhere, he just jumps in here and he's like flexing because he just gotten back from the gym and I guess he was feeling it, you know? And he's like, NFL, let's go. And then he did this 2 more times out of nowhere. That's my
What
house.
the fuck?
The eldest squirrel's a little out of control. So, but anyway, yeah, I
Sounds
mean, that's
perfectly in control to me.
yeah.
That's my kind of squirrel.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, Jenny.
Sherry says I need therapy for my anxiety and depression, but I take up a
Oh,
lot of hobbies, so I don't have idle time. Yep, idle time is my biggest thing. So like when I'm stressing, because I'm going to be
isn't
dealing
there
with that
something
stuff,
about
man.
idle time and the devil?
Idle hands, devil loves idle hands, or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
Idle time is the devil's workshop. I don't fucking remember how it goes. It's something along those lines. Keep yourself busy, people. You know, an easy way to keep yourself busy? Adding putzes to the stream.
Oh, a putz. Oh, it's
Yeah,
on.
see, I set you up for a beautiful segue. You're
No,
welcome.
you didn't. No, 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 no. You didn't set me up for a beautiful segue. I'm a professional.
Oh, I hear those are good.
No, like I figured the segue out as you showed up as I was making my point. That's what it is to be a professional. Instead of you inviting somebody on and then you make some segue and you're like, wow, that was super racist. But it was a joke, so it's fine.
Yeah, and besides that, I have a cowboy hat, so clearly not racist.
Hey, I have a question for you because nobody answered me in the chat yet. Who wins the oppression Olympics between a black man and a white woman? Both are oppressed and have privilege at the same time.
Oh, well, I would say the black man.
He's more oppressed than the white woman.
Yeah, because he's a man
And
and he's black.
no, he has the male privilege. You've heard of the male privilege, have you not?
Yeah, but I think the female privilege is more frowned upon.
That what female? It's female oppression. What female privilege? Yeah, you have the
Oh, I heard
privilege.
female
You
privilege.
have
Parents
you
have
have
them.
the privilege to get pregnant. Congratulations, squirrel.
Oh, what a treat.
Fuck.
And
Yeah,
I get to
right.
have people tell me how to be. That's good.
Hey, females are
you
getting
know, you
a
know when you
movie.
make it to your third trimester, you
If
should
you
do
say that
this.
we're getting a fucking movie, I don't give a fuck about a movie.
Movie
No,
about
no,
what?
you're getting a great representation. I shit you not. This is a thing. They're making a movie called Karen
I
about
saw that. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
It's
it's like a
magical.
fucking
Did you? Whoa,
BET
whoa,
movie,
whoa,
isn't it?
whoa, 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 whoa,
Yep.
whoa.
Yeah.
Did he just say that you, Squirrel, are going to be represented in the movie Karen?
I think so.
You're a dick.
I said it as a general statement, but yeah, I already
She's
knew I
not a
was gonna.
Karen. She's like the opposite of a Karen.
I didn't call her
Fuck, even the
specifically
Karen
a
here
Karen.
is the opposite of a Karen.
Oh, hey, Janie Davis, how are you?
Jenny says black men are more oppressed than most people I can imagine.
How? Where? When? By who? These are all good questions that nobody has answers to.
Now, are we talking like current oppression or
Oh,
general
oh,
oppression? Because I'm
oh,
talking,
def-
if we want to do it, we can't. Like that's the thing is when people talk
we're
about
talking
oppression,
historical oppression?
I'm talking general, like from start to finish of where we're at versus right now, currently of what they're trying to push, because it's not necessarily the same.
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not talking about what the left is trying to push as
Oh, okay.
reality. I'm talking about the actual oppression and the actual privilege which don't actually exist. Because, let's go one thing at a time, pay gap. If the pay gap was a real thing, every single CEO would be a female because you can pay them less because that's what the pay gap is, right? That's what we're told it is. That
Well, I
this
didn't believe
person will
in it
make less
either.
than that person.
I mean, I didn't believe in it either until Blizzard. Oh, too soon? Blizzard perpetuated every stereotype for us. So, to all of the people of Blizzard, thank you, you assholes. You set men back about 1,000 years. We were already set back. So, good on you, Blizzard. Way to fuck gaming and men all in one fell swoop.
Makes sense.
I
I'm like,
mean,
oh no.
Janie says through history too now, I'm still saying that black men have it the hardest. But wouldn't black women have it the actual hardest?
I think so. I was going to say, I think black women.
And if we're talking about oppression, wouldn't we have to say that the brown women have it the hardest? They've been oppressed, like physically, emotionally, spiritually, for at least 500 years exclusively. Like, you know what?
Yep.
If you're going to go outside, you have to wear this. You know what? You can't do this. Can't do that. Can't do this. Can't do that. And if you say anything back to me, I will justifiably and legally murder you.
Yeah.
Or my favorite, because we still live in like the early centuries, when you stone someone. That's always a great one. Stoning.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those Muslim women, they have my sympathy.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I've seen some truly horrible things, even here in the U.S. with Muslim women.
Well,
Wonder
yeah,
why
because
leftists never talk about that.
because it doesn't fit the narrative, guy.
My bad. I'm sorry.
They're
I always
they're
forget about
not
that
they're not.
wacky
I
narrative.
mean, lest we forget that all of these oppressed people are exclusively being oppressed by me and you, Zod. Squirrel's not oppressing them. She's a woman. She's not doing any oppressing. Just us white men are doing all the oppressing. We have all of the power.
Bring up Jenny Godden's comment, because my girl actually.
I gotta read this first. Karen said, "When the Karen movie comes out, I'm going to sue them for misrepresentation of Karens."
That'll show them. Oh no.
Oh, what comment now? Where?
Jenny Godden, the
This
PB,
one?
Texas. Nope.
No.
Nope.
And I'm in Texas, so yeah, I know about this. I've had, you know, how many people ask me if I was moving out of Texas because of this. I'm like, you obviously don't know my level of like rebellion, but not that I'm purposely going to go get an abortion or something. That's not how I am. But fuck them. PB Texas is forcing women to keep babies after 6 weeks. Most people don't find out until a month in or so, and not all pregnancies are wanted. To slow women's rights are being taken away. Yeah, it's the same. This is the same day. This is the same shit, different day when it comes to women's health care in general, right? They were doing pap smears by Braille until like the turn of the century, actually all the way through to the 30s. But the women's health care has always been dependent on other women helping one another. So it is really behind, despite all of like this progressive health care that women have. I say progressive in quotes. They scare the shit out of women with healthcare very frequently instead of educating women. I can't tell you the lost opportunities that are still a problem of having conversations with women about different healthcare procedures and proactive approaches to preventative care for cancers and things like that. No, what they want to do is scare the living shit out of you when you go into the doctor. They drop the C word, cancer. People freak out because it scares them. And instead of them like, I just feel like there's very few. We have good doctors out there. I'm not shitting on all, but I've had my chunk of assholes, and they scare the shit out of women. So this thing about, abortion, I don't think it's anyone's fucking business what a woman does, regardless. Meaning, here's the deal: whether she has an abortion or not, it's not my fucking problem. It's her body, right? Let her fucking deal with the
It
repercussions one way or the other. That's all.
true mostly. It comes down to where you draw the line when you start to protect the child. The child has no protection, zero.
Good night,
So
Landon.
at what point are you drawing the line to say, well, this woman, she carried this baby. Everybody at that point, I assume, calls it a baby when we're hitting the 8-month mark. You're still not, I hope, just calling it a clump of cells. Anyway, this lady, she carried the baby to 8 months. She gave birth to it. It's a little underweight, but for the most part, it's healthy. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. Same lady got pregnant literally the same fucking day. She carries it to 8 months, panics, goes and gets an abortion. That wasn't a
Okay.
child that she just killed. And I will tell you that it is a child that she just killed because in at least the United States of America, every single state, if you kill a pregnant mother, you get charged with double homicide. So
Right.
why is it okay for the mother to kill the child inside? Is that not a homicide?
Once again, though, it goes back to the choice of the mother, right?
The choice of the mother. Well, you say it's the choice of the person who. Well, she had a choice. She could have chosen. Now we're talking the typical ones, not the extreme cases where somebody got raped and they had no choice. Typically, a person makes the choice to have sex, which leads to the pregnancy. If you
And
didn't
no,
want
there's no spoiler
that,
alerts here. Do you
spoiler
see what I'm
alerts.
saying? You get pregnant, you're going to have a child. Okay. You're going to be held accountable, you and maybe the dad if he's around. Most cases, that's not the case anymore. But
Sad.
let's just say for entertainment purposes, I've heard of all kinds of cases about, the father gets involved, he wants to keep the baby. Okay, that's great. There's a lot of legal stuff that's involved in that beyond just popping a baby out. It's obviously something, if we had more of accountability regarding responsibility, I think that would make it meaning for the father too, meaning putting the pressure on him just as
Oh, I'm
equally as
not
the
giving
mother, right?
excuses for the father.
But when it comes down to it, I'm somebody that was put in the bracket of was my history on this is that my with Elder Squirrel, I had some health stuff really bad, and was basically they were trying to talk me into abortion from day, I don't know, I was 3 months along, all the way to my 7th month. They were trying to have me basically talk me into having an abortion, and because I had so many problems, and I made a choice to keep that baby. I was my choice to do that. Keep that in mind. Had this been back under any of these other regulations, because this pendulum can swing both ways, and we know this from the history of eugenics, whether that's here in the United States, the UK, any other country. Um, I wouldn't have had a choice back in the day at all. I would have been forced to have the abortion, and I would have been forcibly sterilized without question because I have a mixed background already, and plus I had an undesirable. So the history is there, and when I was in school, I went to bat on this so many times because I blamed everybody for the reason why eugenics was flourishing. I didn't sit there and go, "Oh, the church was without blood on its hands." No, they were a part of the problem because of the funding. It's very interesting how that works. They didn't like that, but it's true. The point is that eugenics was a major movement, and the pendulum was swinging in the opposite direction of forced sterilizations and abortions. And up until the 70s, it was still going on. So how I look at it is this: if a female wishes to, by her choice, keep or not keep a baby, that is her decision to make. And she can live with the repercussions of health, or psychological trauma of whatever decision she makes because she is a fucking adult. When the state comes in and says, well, we're going to swing the pendulum in the opposite direction because of moral grandstanding and maybe the changing of culture or whatever
Interesting.
other stuff that could happen, that's how I look at it. So having been in that position of having somebody, I mean, I had a lot of pressure, and it was the kind of pressure I've carried. I remember this every time. That's the reason why I was always pro-choice before, but for myself, I'm pro-life. But that's my fucking choice to make. This is about choice. It's not about killing or not killing. When you have people that are barely, to be honest with you, beef is totally fine. I have a healthy 22-year-old. But if I had listened to these fucking doctors who didn't know what the fuck they were doing, their solutions are quick to abort and just as quickly as they are to sit there and manhandle and babysit people. Now, if somebody cannot be morally responsible to make those decisions for themselves, that's on them. And the truth is that there has to be changes of our infrastructure for, what do you call it? Support and funding. And, that's a whole nother topic about, welfare state and things like that. But the truth is it's down to choice. So it's still this weird regulation process that governments seem to want to cling to, and women have always been at the brunt of this shit. And it comes up in every fucking lecture I get it going to an OBGYN about, well, by law, these are the things we need to discuss. Like when I was pregnant, every woman gets the conversation about Down syndrome testing and the risks involved
Sure.
in that. You get there's other testing now they're coming out with forms of, it's bizarre. Like there's a lot of weird testing that they're trying, and the types of vaccines that they try to force on you, and also other testing that you have to have. So it's always about testing, but there's not a lot of education. And I think that's the biggest problem with women's healthcare is there's not a lot of proactive conversations that go on in OBGYN's office unless you have a great doctor. And that's becoming more like a unicorn, right? No offense to my favorite unicorn, of course. But it's one of
She's
those
had none taken.
good. But that's the thing that pisses me off is like women are just being thrown, out the window of having those opinions. So I was so grateful I was able to make a choice in my situation, because had it been under the old laws, I would have had no goddamn, absolutely no opinion. No opinion. I would have went before a judge. The judge would have issued it. It would have been a done deal, and it would have been abortion and sterilization by the end of the day, because they would want to prevent me from having any more children. And you know what that doctor tried to do is, after I did have beef, he wanted to tie my tubes. I was 19. I've had 2 children since then, healthy and happy kids. And you know what? Fuck doctors with that shit. In the end, you have to be educated and really have a backbone. And don't worry about questioning authority. That's your fucking job. And as a female, you should be, because history has not really been kind to women, no matter, and especially
So,
that's my belief though. But yeah, Jenny has a good comment there. Yeah.
I would say that it's a partially good comment because I totally disagree with the end. They are protecting the children. Because if you believe that it's okay, the same way that Governor Ralph Northam thinks that it's okay, he's the governor of Virginia, not of Texas, by the way.
Okay.
He believes that abortion is legal up until the point where you leave the hospital, in the sense of you've given birth already, but you haven't decided yet whether or not you'd like to keep the, what did I see earlier in the chat, zygote? It's a zygote when it's inside of you, even though it has a beating heart and lungs. Okay. He says you can kill the baby after you give birth to it because, you as a woman don't want to be straddled with this unwanted pregnancy. I would say that the baby probably wants to live. Where she
I
says
agree with
you're gonna have many kids that will be in foster care or group homes or whatever and be abused. Now, abuse, not a good thing. Not as bad as death.
I would disagree with that. And, in the spirit of a friendly debate, Jenny, I've had 4 uncles in a foster home. 2 of them are very rich and successful. One of them did actually suffer abuse. Still has a wife, 4 kids. Actually faced his abuser years later, after he had become the head of the church, and had his family. And bigger man than me, forgave him. But because that's God's law, I said, sometimes God's got to take a back seat and you just got to beat the shit out of someone. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, yeah, I know the angle from both angles, but I would argue that yes, you have the one coin that everyone likes to specify how bad the foster care system could be, and I don't. I've heard it both sides, but I've also heard people who wind up getting a loving family and making something of their lives, wind up being in a better situation than they would have been
And there's only one way for you to find out which way it's going to play out, and that's to be alive. If you are not protected as a baby, you die.
So if we were to put, let's say this, I don't agree with what you were talking about, the Virginian governor's bullshit about, well, you can give birth and then just let the baby die. That to me is the line that should never be crossed. Meaning, once a child is given birth to, that's a whole nother bracket. That means you now have a living birth. That's how my brain works, right? So I believe past a certain point in a pregnancy, depending on what's going on, there should not be this whole like, well, we're just going to let you give birth and let the baby die thing. I think that that's morbid, but it's one of those things where there's so much extremism when it comes to this, where you have Texas as a response to something else. Like that's the way it feels.
Well, I mean, their response, which to counterpoint what was said earlier, abortion is not a right. It's not. It's not written into the Constitution. I don't know in what other countries it's a right under their law, but it's not a right. There was a court decision in what, the 70s is when Roe v. Wade was?
Yeah.
So there's a court decision that doesn't allow certain repercussions for executing these particular things on people. That's all. That's all it is.
Can I just bring another wrinkle? Because I've had you guys talk about this back and forth. And from my perspective, this is how I feel about it. I'm not exactly pro-choice, and I'm not really pro-life either. I'm kind of in the middle about this, because on the one end, I completely sympathize with the rape thing, but here is the other end I've seen with my own 2 eyes.
I never talked about rape.
Growing up in New York with these girls getting pregnant, what I am against is using abortion as contraceptive, which, let's all be honest with each other.
No. You can't be against that. That's a woman's right to choose, correct?
I am against that kind of thinking, because that breeds a dangerous thinking of, I can do this. And if I'm not mistaken, there is risks to that. And you're not then talking about women who are making a conscious decision. Maybe you have a mistake, you don't want a kid, and whatever. But when there's girls who do this, and there's long-term effects, there's teenagers, and I think that's where you get into the gray area, because then it implants in their mind, oh, if I have an accident or I choose not to use a condom, I could just use abortion as a way to
I will say this. I've known people who have done this as a form of birth control.
Yeah.
And the truth is that they ended up with no children in the end. Meaning kids they did have, they weren't responsible to take care of to begin with.
Shocking.
So those kids ended up, getting rehomed with other family or with the state. And I've known one other person who used it as birth control, and they carried that with them. It's a deep thing. It's a very deep thing in the end for a female to get an abortion. Whether or not they see it as something in their youth doesn't mean a damn thing. It's when they start to actually, let's say, buckle down, and maybe they want to have kids, right? Or maybe they start having other health stuff. Hey there, Rich.
Hello, Rich.
But
Yeah, Rich.
it kind of comes full circle. So they realize, you know what? Because there can be major complications and long-term ramifications of repeated abortions. Sometimes one is enough. Sometimes it can be several. It just depends on where you're going as far as safety. If you're going to a good facility, not just like a, you know, a chop shop. I hate to be an asshole, but it's true. And also, I believe there's such a lack of education for women in general when it comes to their health care and long-term health care because of the politics that are involved. It's weaponized it. So women aren't getting the valid information. They're getting a political filtered form of healthcare. But
You were drinking.
there was a comment. Yeah, there was a. I'm sorry, I'm looking for Janie's comment. She was talking about forced sterilization was still going on in, I think, North Carolina and the East Coast. They had some forced sterilizations that were still going on, and lawsuits came out in the 80s because people were forcibly sterilized, and they weren't told. That's the fun thing. They weren't told that they were being sterilized. So that was interesting. There's a lot of lawsuits that came out of that. Jenny says that there's a first breath law about stillbirth versus murder of an infant. Yes. But you know, over
Where?
time,
In Australia?
I know that in our state or not our state, but in the States, they had some states like that have that.
I mean, Zod. Jenny says it's called My Body, My Choice. Forcing women one way or the next is the problem. My body, my choice is the whole point.
I'm not talking
my only
I'm talking to teenagers. Teenagers aren't women to me. And there is data to support a demographic of teenagers who do this stuff. And I think that section of it to me will never be okay because a teenager does not have that choice. They're not an adult. They're not technically an adult until the age of 21, at least to me, till you can drink and vote and make your own conscious decisions.
18,
so encouraging
21.
a teenager to be able to make a life-altering choice such as that, you know, I think there should be some kind of say in that. Plus, not to mention too, your body's still growing.
Right.
That is my point. Younger women being able to do that could be an effect on them because they're not fully in that mature age yet. That's what I'm talking about. Women who are fully grown and can make that decision, sure, you know, that's on you. You have to deal with the consequences. And who am I to tell you, you know? But I'm saying when you get into the teenage crowd, they can't use that my choice, my whatever. I mean, I just think about what if my daughter came up and asked me something?
This lands in the category, in my opinion, when it's your child, you're a parent, they're a minor, you know, you legally are their, you know, custodian. So that's very different as opposed to when you hit the age, let's say 18. In some states, it's different. It varies per state of you know how that works. It could be 16 and up. It could be 17 and up. But you know what Shalena said. I wanted to mention it before it gets passed over again. But it's Planet Keys Queen has said the women are more oppressed because we had to fight to vote in the 20s, but weren't allowed to even have a checking or savings account by themselves until the 1970s. That is correct. There was a lot of bias in the consumer markets, banking especially.
That's because they didn't think that women wanted to deposit their sugar and flour.
Jesus Christ. You're out of here. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, shit. Been kicked off my own channel.
See, that's my point, Jenny, is that because she followed that up with, okay, teenager gets pregnant because of whatever that happened. Think about what could happen to the teenager as soon as the mother of that teenager finds out the teenager is pregnant. But that's my whole problem with that.
It seems like on the other side of the coin there, Zod, they're intent on jumping to negative consequences. what if I keep this child and all of these bad things that are going to happen to me, instead of, well, what if I keep this child and all the good things that'll happen to me? I never hear the positive things that can come out of making what I believe is a better choice, because I don't know. I mean, Squirrel said that her line between baby and no baby is birth canal, right?
Right.
So you're okay with abortion all the way up to the end?
No. Personally, no. Hey, Rich.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
What's up, Rich?
That's good.
I'm glad you got the link.
Yeah, I got my football fix for today, so I'm a happy camper.
I already watched the Packer game. Spoil away.
I'm not even gonna say nothing about that game.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
I was not expecting that at all. I was like, what is going on with Green Bay? But
Jameis Winston looks like Drew Brees.
it's like Aaron Rodgers is purposely like setting them up so he can hurry up and get up out of there. I was
mean,
like, wow.
he ain't gonna be the highest paid quarterback with a brand new contract next year if he plays like that the rest of the season.
Yeah. That game was, I did not expect it to go that way.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. But I figured I'd stop
killing my fantasy team at the same time. God
oh
damn it.
man.
You know who I was playing against this week?
Who?
Calm Squirrel.
Oh yeah, his squad did all right.
He's
His
fucking
squad did
crushing
all
me.
right.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
Oh, it's all good. I just wanted to stop by and say what's up to everybody. I'll hop on for a little bit and listen to what y'all talking about.
Ooh, I have a question for you because I only had one half of the question represented. Who is more oppressed in the Oppression Olympics? A white woman or a black man?
Oh, well, seeing as I am a black man,
what?
Shit.
A handsome black man, but
Ooh.
you know, me and Squirrel had a podcast about this a while back. Touching on topics of race and stuff like that. But my mom, growing up, she raised me and my two brothers, and she said if we make it to 18 as young black men, we're lucky, to avoid going through obstacles as far as staying away from gang violence and being with the wrong crowd and all of that. And I could go on stories upon stories of situations where I've had cops pull me over, search my car, been accused me of being a robbery suspect. I can't even tell you how many times I've been followed around in the store. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but there's this picture that the black male is the most dangerous person in the country or something. I don't know why it's pictured that way, but it is. I've lived it firsthand, and I'm going off of
Joe Biden's a black male.
I'm not even going to touch on that, old man Joe, but no, just from my personal experience, my brother's personal experience, I can sit here and say what everything I've been through as a black male in this country, and it's unfortunate, it's sad, but it's the reality of things. So, but no, I definitely, for whatever reason, it's just how we're painted, a lot of us. But I look at things in the way that I know everybody's not like that. I grew up with a lot of friends, different races and everything. We're still in communication and everything till this day. But speaking from my shoes, I went through a lot growing up, and I've experienced that. So I know firsthand what it's like to have odds against you and people looking at you a certain way, because my daughter's experienced it. I had to prep them. The thing about being and I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm not gonna get into a long talk about it, but the thing about being a black male in this country, or just like my mom had to prep us for it as young kids to tell us what to expect when we get older. I had to do the same thing with my daughters. So that's it, and it's unfortunate that we still in 2021 we still have to have these talks with our kids, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So my mom had to sit here. We had to watch. We watched documentaries and stuff, and she prepped us for it. But when you go out there and you experience it in the world, it's a whole different thing. But no, my thing is, I love everybody. As long as you give me that respect, I return that respect. I care what color you are, but I do know what I've went through in this country as a black man.
Fair point.
Well, how the fuck is anyone supposed to follow anything up after that stirring speech?
Geekicidal tendencies. Sports, you say? More like a game, not a sport. God damn it, Geek. It's a fucking sport.
No, it is a sport. I played football, so it is a sport.
God damn right. As long as I possibly could.
Rose had a very personal comment she left in chat. She goes, if I can, personal here. I did have an abortion right after I left home and being absolved twice by a priest, but it still haunts me after all these years later. It was a difficult decision for me. Well, Rose, that's not an easy choice at all. And you did what was best by you. And no one can take that away from you in the end, because God knows your intentions, and that's really what matters. It's not about what, I know we have our own guilt. Women we're really good at guilting ourselves. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm well aware of that. I was like,
I mean,
wait, you
master
feel bad
guilt.
about what?
Exactly.
Why?
That happened 6 years ago. I don't give a shit. But, the truth is, though, is that, we make decisions that are best based on the situations that we find ourselves in, and you're still here with us. And, the truth is that, I believe in spiritual family. So even the ones that didn't make it, whether that was an infant or whatever, they're always with us. So, God knows our true intentions, and we know that we didn't have ill intent. And those things are felt deeply if you're spiritual minded, which you sound like you are. They stay connected to you, and they're well aware of that burden that stays on your heart. I'm not saying that that's a justification to carry that guilt, because you shouldn't. You did what was best by you. And that's a very powerful thing to share. And I thank you for doing that. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But at the same time, everyone is faced with different difficulties when it comes to that shit,
Oh, Geekicidal is
I'm
hardcore.
not on board with your redefining of words, Geek. You son of a bitch.
Oh my.
Hey, can I just say, shout out to the chat. We got into some heavy shit here tonight, man. Like,
yeah.
I was already having a shitty day, and I didn't know we were gonna have a talk about abortion because a homeless person snuck into my mall yesterday because people don't want to hire.
We talked about them before you got here.
Oh yeah, this homeless person snuck in because people don't listen to the people that they pay to guard the mall, and they leave the fucking door open. And this lady wrecked a shop in the middle, and some plants. The theater outside lost some plants because people don't know how to follow the fucking guidelines, and until I'm blue in the face. And Scott's like, well, we can't spend $200 to make sure the doors lock right. Well, Scott, when I get fucking stabbed to death, I'm gonna haunt your ass in this fucking godforsaken mall because I've said 5 fucking times in 5 different fucking memos, just pay the $200 for locks.
Seems like common sense to me.
You bitch, Karen. She says, I have guilt that I have sat here this entire time and ate all the snacks without offering any to the group.
Yeah, how dare you? I would have enjoyed some snacks. Like, what kind of snacks we talking?
Oh, Canadian snacks. Speaking
I'm
of
down.
Canada, Jenny says, as a woman in Canada, if I was forced to stay pregnant because of being raped, the amount of trauma I'd have to keep having because of that that's the end of the sentence? It doesn't seem like the end of the sentence, but I guess it is. Does that sound like a complete sentence?
I mean, I understand what she's saying though. Like,
I
get,
understand it. I was just
Oh,
wondering
yeah.
if I was
gotcha.
missing something extra. I
Gotcha.
understand it. And I would say, who's to know? Second point, at no point was I ever talking about rape because that is a special circumstance. Typically, if you get raped, you would go and you can't necessarily have an abortion immediately, but you can take some version of the pill that would, let's say, clear it out.
Yeah,
And if
like the
that
morning
doesn't work,
after.
then you would go in immediately again and you would get your abortion. At no point in the discussion did I say this had anything to do with rape because they always want to bring it back to rape and say, how come you want to keep my rape baby in me? Well, I don't necessarily want to, but once again, it's not the baby's fault.
See, me, I take the position of, in that case, cheers, go for it. Yeah, that's technically not remotely in your hands. I don't know, but I would like to say, on a lighthearted note, shout out to the chat for being able to have a discussion like this, because the sad part is, whenever you talk about this normally degrades into like
No. We're
firebombs.
gonna get degrade it real quick, and I'm gonna kick all of you assholes off the channel because nobody's agreeing with me.
No. I'm definitely. I will disagree with you. Just
Oh fuck!
to disagree with you. That's
Can
my.
you
Good night,
imagine?
Becca.
Good night,
Patty.
Becca.
I can,
Good night,
you know what?
Patty.
I'll say this, because I can't speak for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even try to be in a woman's shoes,
I mean,
and you
you
know,
could try, but I don't know
well,
if
I
they
mean,
make them that big.
unless she wears a size 17, because that's the
I'm
shoe
saying
size I wear.
that's a big
God.
stiletto right there. Fuck.
Yeah. Unless she wears a size 17, then we could talk. But no, I and that's a good point. I could, like, for example, if some young woman has everything going for her, she's getting ready to go to college and focus on everything, and then something terrible like that happens to her, and she ends up pregnant. And for me personally, I think a woman has every right to make her decision when it comes to that, because they're the ones that have to endure bearing or going through the months of bearing a child and everything. But something like that, if she has everything going for her, something tragic like that happens to her, she ends up pregnant. Yeah, I mean, I know for some people it's a slippery slope, but at the end of the day, it's her decision. She could, and then there's also, if she decided she wanted to go through it and just put the child up for adoption.
Yep.
I
Nobody
mean,
said you had to keep it.
yeah. So
Afterwards.
there's always, but still, it's just the whole point of they don't even want to go through the whole process of that, especially if something like that happened to them. But yeah, you still have that option, but again,
So
at the end of the day, it's her body and her choice at the end of the day. That's just my 2 cents, but nobody jump me.
I don't think that we have anybody on the channel here that would jump you.
Nah, I put them through the wall. Don't play with me. No, I'm just playing.
Oh God.
Oh,
just-
that was
just-
zero.
Oh,
That's the
you
witch I
ain't gotta
know.
be as afraid of him. You just gotta break off that one stiletto. He'll tip right over.
I'm a gentle giant for the most part.
Oh, good night, Rebecca. I guess you're leaving.
Yeah, she's heading out. Her
Okay.
headphones are dying.
Here at the end of the day, this is why this is, to me, a topic that is circular. Why I say that is because I hear it go around in
Because you
circles.
get round when you're pregnant.
But,
Not that.
but No, Jesus Christ. But I think at the end of the day, what I disagree with, and I think, to Jenny's point too, what I disagree with is the outside sources, right? If it's friends and family members that are talking to you about this, that's one thing, right? If you have the family and people saying stuff that, they're trying to counsel you, or you ask for their advice, things like that. I think the whole point of government and an outside entity saying something like that is no different than what's going on with pushing a vaccine that everyone doesn't want to take, or something like that. It's
No. You
it's
can
the
push
policing.
you can push the vaccine on people because it's for your protection, just like pushing pro-choice is for your protection. Oh, wait, no, they said that it was my body, my choice. Maybe stay the fuck out of my blood then. Whatever.
Yeah.
See, so that's what I'm saying. If these arguments, if the issue comes in, is that there seems to be a favorite side of each one. My personal opinion is just government needs to stay the fuck out of those kinds of topics. Running the economy, how people should act while abiding, in society is one thing. But personal shit, like, hey, if I'm gonna fuck up and do stuff, that's on me, as long as it's not affecting other people. And I think that's where you got the difference of opinions, because it's like, no, you don't have the right to tell me as far as what I can do myself that's not going to directly affect anybody else but me. Whereas, if I'm going to go and kill a bunch of people, yeah, you probably want to stop that, because that's going to directly affect other people. So, see, that's my philosophy on it. And then, just teenagers, because I don't view teenagers. I don't give a shit who argues with me. I don't think teenagers, especially in this age, are smart enough to make any fucking choice on their own. I see enough stupid
Sure they
teenagers
are.
to know the decisions they make. But full-grown
Yeah,
adults,
Rich is all.
but full-grown adults,
I have very good teenage girls. So
Right now.
Lucky.
I mean, yeah, for now.
Right. It's moody. People get moody, but
Oh yeah, I don't even want to talk about that.
Rich is
well,
surrounded.
see, Jenny, we can't get into the vaccine thing, because the vaccine's not protecting the world. We've already proven this. It's protecting other people who feel like it's an invasion of their thing. If it was proven that this thing was a force field protecting people, and there was actual evidence, but there isn't concrete evidence that's saying specifically this is protecting more than one people. There's not even a fucking theory that's concrete saying that this indefinitely works. People have scaled back previous statements. So no, I can't co-sign with that. That's a totally different situation. This is not protecting people. It's gaining capital
If
for
the vax, no,
companies.
I feel like you gotta go from the other side, Zod. The vaccine is protecting you. The individual, all of the individuals around the world. You got the vaccine, it's protecting you. So I don't have to get it because you have it. So it's protecting you. And it's not meant to stop you from getting the virus. That was a lie that Dr. Fauci had to tell us. He's like, you don't have to mask if you vax. Okay, whatever. So if that's the case, now they say, well, it doesn't stop you from getting the virus. It just stops you from getting severely sick and having to be hospitalized. So it would be like getting a mild flu. Okay, well, then leave me the fuck alone because you're protected. You got the vaccine. I don't have to get the vaccine. And the vaccine, as far as the actual data shows, definitely doesn't stop the Delta variant. That one said, oh, I see you came up with something for that quaint corona. I'm the heavy corona. Hello.
Right.
Yeah, so I
Oh.
mean, it's these are two very different. These are two very very different things. Like,
Thank you. That's the one I was gonna.
Oh, I figured.
Yeah, Geek shared. He goes, about 15 years ago, girlfriend of 2 years at the time, and I got pregnant. And after many very very heartfelt late night conversations, we together decided to terminate the pregnancy. Women equals brave slash strong slash AMZ.
Amazing.
Mhm.
At least
good.
I assume that's what it means.
Yeah, and but that's the right way to do it. If the situation is where the male is involved, absolutely.
And then you can watch Teen Moms and realize that there's people who should have just not done it. Oh God, that show.
Yeah.
No,
Which I
I was talking about Tony the Fouch.
Tony. Yeah, and really what he's doing, I mean, with this the vaccination is well, let's be honest, it's forced herd immunity. So they're pushing it out there hoping to, because people will be reinfected with COVID. That's just a given. There was a lot of information that was shared the other night that wasn't accurate. I'm being honest, not on my end, the wall, but but you know, the point is that people who've gotten reinfected, depending on the type of strand and variant, it can be very aggressive and it can be worse with each round. So what you're trying to do is decrease the amount of, I guess, you're not going to have a herd immunity from this. It doesn't last the way they keep stating it is. It's not accurate. It's an average based on a very low number of cases that they're using in these studies. That's what they're not sharing. The other studies that are out of country, meaning not the United States, because I like that better, because they're going to be more honest about the data, whether that's out of Israel or out of Thailand or Singapore.
Oh,
Or
you
in
can't
Japan.
use that Israel data. You can't use those numbers. I've seen them on Twitter. They're real.
Lord, my God. So, Jenny
People were
says,
going crazy.
"Oh my God, dude." Jenny Godden says it's protecting people from dying from the virus. It's the whole point. So technically, it is protecting the world. Pregnancy is also protecting the world. Pregnancy is only affecting the woman. There is no argument that both can be tied together.
Yeah, yeah, there is, and it's the tagline: "My body, my choice." That is the argument, which means you don't get to tell me, a man, oh my, what medical procedures I'm allowed to do or not do. If I'm not allowed to tell you, a woman, oh my, what procedures you can do on your body. I don't see the difference here.
Man, yeah, I think it's one of those things where, you know, when we start saying, well,
Right.
you have to do this and you have to do that, and regardless of what it is, I've had them scare me, the doctor, many times, like in the past, with shit that did not apply, and tried to get me to take procedures or surgeries purely based on assumptions and generic, without getting a second opinion. Okay, and not, and it's kind of like, when you go to the doctor, they hand you a prescription drug, and they don't really tell you the side effects. They might mention it, but they usually don't. So you take the pills, you end up with all these side effects, and then they can come back and say, well, you should have done your research on it. When by law, they're supposed to share that information with you at the time that they prescribe the drug, including the pharmacist. And the pharmacist didn't, that information wasn't even on the pamphlets at the time. This has changed a little bit over the years. I had more side effects than anything for some of these drugs that I had to take, especially it was when I was sick with Eldest Squirrel. That was a fucking nightmare. But there's a lot of things that brought to light of why it's good to be self-educated about the information and not just, oh, okay, well, those numbers look good, I'm going to take those numbers. I want to know where those numbers came from, because I guess natural paranoia of being in the medical system, to say it nicely. So it's always important to be self-educated a little bit about your drugs and for vaccines or anything that they suggest to you. Always seek that second information. Once you're happy with whatever information you found, you feel validated in it, then I'm all for anyone making a medical decision on their own behalf. I don't agree with things being forced. That's where I stand on it. But as far as, what people view things to be for the better of everyone, it depends on who the authority figure is telling you to do this and where they're getting their information and who's paying them. That's what I look at. Fuck, man. We're in a brave new world, everybody,
Hey, everybody's drinking, so this drink's for you guys.
I'm not drinking.
I don't. I got food in my mouth, but I don't drink.
He's eating.
Yeah.
On purpose?
I'm doing eating.
I wasn't see how narcissistic this panel is. I wasn't talking about the panel. See, I was actually paying attention to the chat, and somebody in the chat offered everyone drinks, so I decided to drink with them.
We don't drink around here. We drink water and apple juice. Well, I love
Hey,
apple juice. That's my favorite. That's my favorite juice. I'm sorry.
Apple juice will get you through some tough times.
What
Yes.
do you have against alcohol?
I don't have nothing against it. It was something I promised my mom I'd never do. It was just my personal thing. I told her, "Don't
Why
worry,
did
Mom,
she
I'd
want
never
you to-
do." Huh?
Oh, never
No,
do
it's just-
never do off the cuff promises. Then you
Oh, it's not.
hamstring
It's
yourself.
not. I've never been tempted though. That's the thing.
Right.
Like
What do
it
you
was
mean
never
you've
like
never
a.
been tempted? That seems
I've
odd.
never had a temptation to drink or.
What do you mean by temptation? Like if somebody offers you a
Yeah,
drink,
like someone
that's
tried
the
to get me to.
temptation.
Yeah, someone tried to get me to drink or something. Like nah, like that. That doesn't do nothing for me.
You're like Black Jeremy.
Yes, Rose, I shaved. Everybody, I shaved. I had to shave.
Holy
because...
fuck, you shaved? All I could see is your chest, you ridiculous bastard. Look at all that lack of cleavage.
Shut.
What's
Hey
that?
there.
Bitch.
How you doing, Pee-wee?
Holy fuck. Is there a way
Wow.
I can turn his camera off? Is that an option?
Wow.
Can
Wow.
you?
No. I cannot. Fuck.
Yeah, my girl, she won't allow me to shave my beard. She's like, nope.
That's because you look like you're 10.
Hey man.
I got a super baby face under that handsome beard. It's a
That's
super
because
baby
black
face.
don't crack.
Not.
They were like, how old is that guy? And I was like, he's either 18 or 81. I don't know. Like, he could be using Just for Men Touch of Gray. I don't know.
No, the only thing that's gray right now is the bottom, like round bottom of my beard, but no gray hair anywhere else. Yeah, you see that handsome man? You see a little bit of gray right there at the bottom, but other than that, no, I'm good.
Hey, whoa.
Behold the beard.
Touch of chin gray. New product.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, a little salt and pepper.
Hey, I only have eyes for Nick Cage, but Big Rich, I got to tell you, not looking bad there.
I am handsome. The girls love me. I've had plenty of adventures growing up. Yeah, and I'm a big. It doesn't hurt being 6'5". It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
Big dude.
Yeah, yeah. I am
a giant.
Yeah, I am.
Seeing him sit at a cubicle, right, was like an excursion because he had to have that chair like way low. Dude.
Whoa. Hold on a second. You're telling me, because I have a hard time believing that you could see over a cubicle wall. They're like 5 feet tall.
Shut up. So like, jackass. We had the short cubicle walls. Those open office ones.
The half cubicle wall.
But Rich would be like way low in that cubicle, like because of his chair, because his legs are long, right? So he'd have his chair way low and like way back, and you'd see his hat on. So that's the only way you knew. You'd see his head bobbing up and down every now and then at his desk. But you'd have to walk over there, and he'd be laid out in these chairs, like lounging, so he could fit under that cubicle because he had long legs.
Yeah, long legs. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Especially like shoe shopping used to be horrible when before you had all these apps and stuff. I had to order my shoes online. I couldn't get them in the stores. So, but now
I know technology helps you out now, man. It's a Let me
does.
tell you, my feet are pretty plain except for dress shoes. I have to get certain types of dress shoes because I've got weird feet that are narrow but wide.
What's your
So
shoe
it's a
size?
tailor's nightmare. 13.
Oh God. Okay.
No, you what?
Yeah.
You wear 13? You're only like most of a man.
Hey, well, you know what they say about big feet, big shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's compensating for the rest of your tiny body.
It all went to the places it needed to go.
We're not talking
Muzzle
about
toss.
this.
Security.
Fuck
I have no
hey,
comment in none of that.
Thank you.
Rich, what shoe size are you, Rich?
I wear a size 17.
Oh, you
Stiletto.
son of a
17
Yeah.
stiletto.
Yeah, size 17. Yeah. Girls appreciated it especially during my Thundercat days. Yeah.
Roar.
But the shoe, I mean, getting a size, anything over a certain, like, what is it? I would say 12 and up or 13 and up is hard.
Yeah, so there was remember that did I ever show you that picture of my shoe compared to okay, so if people don't so my two daughters, my oldest daughter wears a size 11 in women's and
God.
my youngest wears a 10. So, I think
Yeah.
it's a size and a half difference. So Tatiana wears a 9.5 in men and Ariana wears a 8. Or I'm sorry, 8.5. So yeah, they don't have small feet either.
You got those Amazonian goddesses. They're from the island of Wonder Woman and shit.
Well, my oldest is 5 foot. She's about 5'9" right now. Tatiana's 5'9". Ariana's
Oh,
she's like 5'6", but she probably have a late growth spurt.
how
But
old are
yeah,
the girls?
Tatiana just turned 16
That's
last
right.
month, and Ariana will be 15 in November.
So, your eldest daughter is the same height as the beef.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Tiny amount of beef.
That brings me joy.
I'm a no.
Don't tell him.
Oh, I already did earlier. I think like last time Rich brought this up, and I was like,
fuck.
oh, because I knew that one of his daughters was almost the same height as the beef. Because beef's like, well, he's 5'11", but whatever. He's still bitter. He blames that on me. I'm like, whatever. Genetics is not my fault.
Yeah, I
Jamie
don't know
says
what
he's
the
a
fuck
size.
happened with my daughter because, well, my ex is maybe a couple inches taller than me, not by much, and she's right now my daughter's 14 and taller than me. So, and she's still growing. So, fuck genetics. By the time she's like in her 20s, I'm gonna have a hunchback and be even fucking shorter than I am right now. So,
yeah.
Good times all around.
Just to give y'all an idea, I'm gonna share a quick picture with y'all, but at this time, Tatiana was just turning. This was my oldest daughter, by the way. She was just turning, I want to say, 13.
Yeah.
And she wasn't 5'9", almost 5'10" yet, but I'm 6'5", and so she was still, Now, if I were to take a new picture, she would be above my shoulder right now, I think.
Oh my God.
She's up there. She's getting up there. So yeah,
they're cute.
That's my oldest.
It's not acceptable that these young ladies have grown so much. I don't like
Well,
it.
look at who their dad is. I'm a genetic freak.
Well, have you talked to the Anunnaki since you left or no? Sorry.
No, they upgraded his genes and bid him adieu.
Yeah, they dropped him off. They're like, enjoy those.
All right, have fun. Yeah.
Shit.
Yes, it is, Sherry. It is some big feet. It is. Yeah.
What size shoe is your Lee or Zod? What size shoe is your daughter?
I want to say right now about 10, 11, 10.
Oh wow.
10 was the last one that we got. Yeah. So I mean, her feet are getting bigger. She just looks at me like Dad, and I'm like, "Welcome to." You think that I have
her feet
shopping? Wait till you go to shop for fucking.
Oh,
shoes.
it's so fucked up. It's hard as a girl, like to get shoes that are decent. They look nice, Thank God for internet.
My mom got men's shoes. That's what she would tell me.
Yeah.
Because she did not like how the lady shoes were, and the sizes are all fucking weird. But it's just like my daughter's getting taller than me. She got big feet. She's asked me all these questions. I'm like, look. Welcome to my world, kid. Good luck.
Is my car bigger than a Volkswagen Beetle?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I have a Yukon Denali and a Chrysler 300.
And they
And
have
the Chrysler 300 is a big body car, so yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice
Fuck
vehicle.
off, Geek. Fuck
We'll be
off.
debuting at the next WWE pay-per-view in for the Green Bay Packers team.
As a kid, I
man.
wanted to be in the WWE. That was a big dream of mine. I wanted to wrestle when I was a kid.
Who didn't?
Now I barely even. I don't even watch it.
But
No
I
more.
didn't grow up to be wrestler sized like you.
I mean,
we can't all stand next to Brock Lesnar and look down.
Isn't Brock Lesnar short?
He's like
I mean, he's not
6'5".
short. He's not. Nah, he's a pretty decent size. He's
I mean, the camera always makes him look short. I don't mean.
No, he's like, I think he's like 6'2" or 6'3" or something like that.
6'3".
Yeah. He's not. Yeah, he's not short. Yeah, he's like
camera
6'3",
does him
290. Just
He's an itty bitty
big.
little man compared to everyone around him.
I know
He's a
he
big
looks
dude.
short and angry, but it's like then you see him just lift a big show with no effort on his
Yeah,
shoulder.
he's a big,
And you're like,
big, strong dude.
Dude, like I remember watching Brock Lesnar's UFC fights, and they said they did an interview with the champion at the time that he had beaten for the title, and they said, "What was it like to fight him?" And he said, "It was like what I imagined being hit by a truck was like." And I was like,
Shit.
God.
Yeah, he's a strong man. I remember when he went and tried out for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, they're dumb.
Kill someone.
Yeah.
Rose Matter says, I'm probably tall compared to Mad Squirrel.
Oh, shut up.
Is that not what it says?
I believe it.
It says 5'1".
I'm 5 foot.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
No, you did. You totally meant to.
She is 4'12".
Every now and then I'll still get messages saying, "Oh, I got some measuring tape. Let's see how much you've grown this week." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
My mom, my mom was only like, I think she was like 5. No, she was like 5'6". She was about 5'6".
What was your dad freaking 8'6"?
No, my dad wasn't that. No, my dad was only like 6'2". 6'1".
What the hell? Oh,
I just did,
we don't have to talk about your father, the milkman. It's fine.
No. I when I was born, I took all the nutrients from my brothers. Like I took everything. they got the leftover. No, but my brother's like my brother Michael. He's like 6'2". My brother Leon, my baby brother, he's like 6'3". So,
damn.
But yeah, I took everything. I was like, give me that. It's all mine.
Yeah, did you see Betty's comment? She says, I always wear men's shoes and a mix or men and women clothing because fuck just women clothes and shoes. My girl does the same thing. You know what she does? She takes my fucking pants and my like literally.
She crops them so that they fit your tiny body.
She wears the pants literally in this relationship.
Oh, she lets you wear her skirt. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, hey, PB, I look pretty fucking good in the skirt.
I know she needs easy access to whatever you got going on, which.
Oh. Hey,
5'3".
I don't know, and I will continue to not know.
Christina's 5'3",
and 6.
and then Sherry's 5'3". Wow. Okay, so Christine and Sherry are both 5'3" in feet, and then Shalena's 5'9".
Honestly, I don't even remember. I don't know what grade I was when I was like 5'3". I know I was in elementary. I know I was in elementary school.
Shit.
See, I'm slouching down right now.
Mm.
Everyone, shut up! I hate you guys.
You told us to shut up.
Doesn't mean we're not gonna
Only
laugh.
one person on this panel knows how tall I am in relation to them.
Oh, you mean in person?
Yep.
PB, how tall are you again?
I'm 6 foot tall.
Ah, okay.
I mean,
So
it might be a hair under 6 foot with the scoliosis and degenerative discs, but we'll go with 6 foot. I was told you're supposed to measure yourself the Shaq way, because when aren't you playing basketball in shoes?
Shit.
fair enough.
Yeah, you know, it's funny.
Hi, Lemon Pie.
They expected me to be like 7'4". Honestly, when I was little, they
Dude.
thought I was. But I think what happened was when I
Not
was in
enough
high school.
nutrients.
No, I started putting on because I was a skinny kid, and when I got to high school, I started putting on weight because I wanted to play football. So I don't know if that stunned my growth a little bit or not, but yeah, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be like 7'3".
Planet Q's queen, those are lies. Okay, I'm not shorter than Bitchy. Only
You
if she
are
has
100% shorter than her.
fucking
Ha
love.
ha.
Well, let's
You know
put it
what? I'm
this
gonna
way.
continue drinking.
Hold on.
Bitchy is a part of the Amazonian goddess group, which
L-
includes apparently the we got, Shalena in chat, and then Karen, who's 5'9", Janie Davis 5'9.5". Amazonian goddesses. Look at these women.
I mean,
That is
hey,
some
I
tall
just-
ladies.
I could put it this way. She's not shorter than Zod.
I hate you.
Ah,
It's not my fault that you picked a tall one. You could have picked some freaking, I don't know,
he
3
wanted a
foot,
goddess.
6-inch woman.
Hey, you know what though?
She could have just been one curve.
Hey, in the whole spooning thing, it's more effective if I'm
Holy
the one doing
fuck,
this.
you picked a big spoon.
Oh,
He went
Hey.
out to the bar, and by bar, I mean his local movie theater, and he
I'm an
looked
old-fashioned guy.
around, and he went, that's a nice big spoon right there. I want some of that.
shit.
I don't know how he
And for
nailed my
some
thought.
unknown reason, which, I don't know, maybe she could answer the question, she said yes.
Well, okay, so this is what
That's my Joe
happened.
Biden voice.
This is what happened. I was persistent, and by persistent, I bugged the shit out of her until she gave me a day out of pity and more of wanting me to shut up.
I remember.
And-
Hold on, I need to respond to this comment. Janie Davis says, "PB, stop picking on the leprechaun, and I will not stop picking on Zod."
That's fair.
Well, you can't be a bastard about these things, okay? I can't help that I have this short Irish blood in me. It's just the way things came out.
No, they didn't come out. You're short.
That's a confused Irishman.
Very
I just
confused.
don't know what to do. I'm just going to drink this here and hope that I get pissed drunk, maybe start a fight at my local pub. Fuck all of you guys. I'm just going to fall into oblivion.
But by local pub, he means mall where he kicks children.
Well, when you're as short as me, you got to kick children to have a little bit of self-esteem.
That's so fucked up.
You gotta kick those big kids.
Oh, God.
It's like, oh, I'm sure I'll show you 8-year-old Tommy. No. No, they're not 8. They're at least 12. Calm down, everyone. Jeez, I'm not a monster.
What is this? Does that say continued?
Yes.
Continued from what?
Continued. Number 1 rule, super simple, and it worked. There is no such thing as a stupid question. Ask, ask, ask. Nothing was out of bounds. They told me they never had a fear of asking anything. have no clue what the fuck that means, but it sounds profound.
Show me the gold.
Where's the doubloons?
Exactly.
Do
Not
rainbows shoot out
necessarily
your
a.
ass?
See, it's not a stupid question. It's a dangerous one because now they know that you know that they have gold. You don't want to give your cards away.
Janie says that accent went bad, real bad, real fast. Is he singing? In his mind.
No.
In my mind.
Yes.
I'll be
In his
singing
mind,
later.
he's always singing. It's disturbing.
Oh, I sing out loud in the mall too. Sometimes people are there. Sometimes they're not. I'll sing like a fucking what's her name? Taylor Swift. That's my girl right there. I sing a Taylor Swift song in the middle of the mall. T-Swizzle. You know, people are just looking at me, and I'm like, I'm a fucking security guard. Okay, that explains a lot. So if I want to sing Taylor Swift in the middle of the mall, I'm gonna fucking do it. Cause what do I got left to lose?
Hey man, do your thing.
Thank you. He gets it.
I'm gonna have to agree with Jenny Godden here. Stop it, Janie. That's it. No, that's very simple. Stop it.
We love you the way you are.
Yeah, yeah. There was no.
She says, "I'm sure you look great. I can confirm that."
Yes, I do look. Oh, not me. I thought you're.
I can confirm that
Calm down, Big Rich.
No, I just seen. I'm sorry. I'm doing two things at once. I thought
Italian
someone was
shirt out
like,
here.
you know. My bad. I'm sorry.
He caught the tail end of that. He did.
Yeah, I
Ecocidal tendency says, "Do rainbows shoot out your ass, Zod?"
I mean, it depends on what I eat. If it's one of those brownies with the sprinkles on it, possibly.
Don't remember saying hi to lemon pie. I kind of feel like a dick about it, but I'm here with Big Rich and Little Zod.
You know what, lemon pie? That is so good. I can't even get mad at you. That sounds like a great talk show. Big Rich and Little Zod in the morning.
Oh, he will love. Send him the pirate shirt. It's not an actual shirt. It's a picture of a pirate shirt that she picked up at some pirate festival outside of Pittsburgh.
Oh, I want to see the pirate shirt.
You have a
I'm
pirate
sure you do, but I got to see it first because people like me better.
Dude, they have a pirate festival? I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was in Illinois because she told me what it was. I was like, oh, I don't know what this is. To the internet. Googled it really quick, and it says, yeah, it's in Allenton, Illinois. Or Allert, I don't fucking remember what it was. Something with an A. And she goes, this one was by Pittsburgh? And I was like, oh, whoops.
Hey, you know what they
Failed
have?
me again, Google.
Better than that, they have the Harry Potter Festival where they turned the whole town into fucking Hogwarts. It was amazing. I'm going to watch all of Harry Potter tonight. No, I won't. I probably won't even get through the first movie. But, you know.
The effort will be
This is a lie. Unless I'm not part of you. I've definitely seen her. I've definitely seen her.
I haven't. I just have the power of imagination.
She looks like an Australian girl.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's cool. I'm a fan of Australian girls, even though you're all not real, apparently.
No, that's what I'm saying. She's made herself up.
So I mean, hold on a second. We've had Stevie on here on camera. So does that mean he uses like a projection system?
New Zealand.
Fucking high tech.
Some fucking Project Bluebeam shit. You know, like Australia's Project Bluebeam. We figured it out.
Oh my God. I watched this British asshole who.
Yes. Did someone call me?
That just really quick reference point. There's people who have claimed that Australia is mythical and not a real place.
Is it a real?
I've heard of that before.
That's what we're referencing here.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it before?
I've
No,
never been to
I've never seen it
Australia.
in person. No,
Have you seen it on
but
the internet, not in person?
oh yeah, of course. I mean, I watched
People
Crocodile
don't.
Dundee. Now, Crocodile Dundee was all the proof I needed.
I mean, I watched Lord of the Rings. That was in New
And that
Zealand.
too.
New Zealand, a hop, skip, jump away from Australia. Man, I'm not really good with the geographical stuff
my
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. That made me. I was walking around. That's
Indians.
not a knife. This is a knife. Yeah, that was me. I was doing that as soon as I watched Crocodile Dundee. So that was all the
That's
proof I
not
Hi,
a
needed.
noise. Boy.
Oh my God! No! No! This is disastrous. This is
What?
absolutely I will show you. Oh my God! I would have never thought that would happen. He has recanted.
Who?
At least the Australian boy. Well, he's not Australian, but he is the one who was going around saying that it was not real. Correct?
Oh, he
Oh, the
recanted it.
British. That British.
Up here, Australia does not exist. That guy right here, same freaking guy. 11 months ago. I'm sorry, Australia. I'm never gonna watch this video.
Or
What a
maybe,
dickhead! What a dickhead!
or maybe it's a fake. Like, I'm
Oh.
sorry, and then he's gonna say you're
He
still
doesn't
fake.
do an apology like you.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God. So he does the video 4 years ago, but then he finally releases a follow-up 11 months ago.
What did he go to Australia and go? Oh yeah, it exists. This guy is so
I
fucking
know, right?
hilarious.
11 months ago. So
He
less than-
said some shit like people get on planes and they knock them all out and make them think that they went to Australia,
Are you
but they were on the
serious?
plane. Yeah, this guy's gold. It was fucking.
I'm sorry,
he's
guys.
British.
It's real.
Ooh, these people got evidence.
Australia isn't real. Evidence. What?
Talking to some guy down the street walking around. This guy, Bob, my neighbor, he says it isn't real either. It's like
Bob hasn't left the same place since like 1960.
Oh, what happened to Isaac? You guys ever watch him before?
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
it's been a while.
Fucking hilarious. It's been a while for me too, but I feel like I might have to watch this one now because it's 3 months after the apology.
Yeah.
I watched that, and that dude destroyed him. It was so fucking hilarious. He reminds me of the people back in the day who used to sell the seas and say, "Oh yeah, the world's definitely flat." Like, oh, and there's still people to this day.
Wait, there's a second video where he says he went there and it wasn't real?
I went to Australia. It isn't real. Where'd you land your plane? In the middle of the ocean?
What do you mean? What?
I don't know.
See, now I'm just curious.
I didn't know. Who knew?
You don't
times.
You
Oh man, who's
damn
jamming?
well
Somebody about to
should know.
put on some
I'm
jams.
Mike Reynolds, and today I want to tell the story about when I visited Australia. I mean, it's hilarious. People in the comments about Australia are like, "What do you know? You've never been there. You say that it's not real." Well, here I am, dummies, to tell you that I did visit there very recently as well. You see, after my video about how Australia wasn't real, I thought that it would be best if I investigated for myself. Now, in that video, if you haven't seen it, go watch it first. But in that video, I said that when people go to Australia, they're actually landing in New Zealand. And they are drugged. They imagine all of the experiences there.
You got the wrong
So
ticket.
I did some research to find out what the drug was that they drug you with, and it's called kyrotine. Kyrotine. That's what it's called. I've never heard of it before, but it's some sort of hallucinogenic.
Oh God!
And that is what they drug you with when you go into the plane. So I looked for some counter agents to that. I wanted to find something I could take
Smart.
counteract the
Super
effects as
smart.
much as
Then you can
possible
just
so that
fake
I
being
could see
drugged.
for real what was going on.
Jesus.
So I found this
Fucking
other
genius.
drug, and it was called. I think it began with a Y. I can't remember exactly what it
The
was called.
Y.
Stoned.
It was called
It
bullshit.
was like Urfene.
That doesn't start with a Y.
I don't remember exactly what it was
Hello,
called. I'd have
Margot.
to, search it.
He's Scottish.
But I took a small amount of this. I didn't know how much to take. Looking back on it, I should have taken more. But I took some of it. And what happened was I went
Margot's
to the
being
airport, I had my
ridiculous.
ticket, I
She
got on the
says,
plane,
"Oh my goodness, he's Scottish.
and we flew
I
off.
believe in Australia."
And there was
But
a point
why?
during
It's
the journey
fake.
where I started to feel tripping.
Tripping.
And I started seeing things almost in my head.
Because you were doing drugs, you idiot.
By the time we landed, it was fully heightened. And when we landed, no one else got up from their seats. I almost did, but I noticed no one else was moving, so I stayed sitting, because obviously I don't want anyone to think that I'm out of place. And all these other people are sitting around me, and they're sitting down, and I'm like, I think this is it. I think this is the proof that I need.
Scotland doesn't exist, mate.
They were all almost in a trance, just still, eyes wide open. No one was blinking. No one had their eyes closed either. Just eyes wide
Don't
open,
blink. Don't ever
mouth
blink
going,
on drugs.
just kind of staring
This
forwards.
motherfucker. No, that was just you, guy.
And that's when
There was
started
nobody
seeing things
else
as well,
on the
almost having
plane at this
visions.
point.
So the drug I
Right.
had taken to counteract it, it had worked a little, but it
A little.
hadn't fully worked. It had worked enough to make it so I was aware of what was going on, but I was still seeing
He's a fucking
seeing
idiot.
things, seeing visions.
No,
And some of the visions I saw,
He's
I
a special
saw
boy.
vast deserts,
He's a
vast
scientist.
open,
Yeah, that's right. He
areas.
did.
I
He-
saw
Observe and
some-
report,
I think I
scientist.
saw a strip club at some point. I don't know how that fits into anything.
He's
I
like the
saw
Paul Blart
some
of scientists.
kangaroos hopping
Shit.
around. I saw a man cutting off a snake's head.
What
I
the
saw
fuck?
some huge,
they
huge
can work
spiders
fast.
that were bigger than cats and birds.
Ecocidal tendencies
That was
says,
insane. But,
"Do
yeah,
you think he is a flat
Eventually,
earther also?"
it was very hard to just sit there.
Almost
There was maybe
definitely.
Once or twice.
Oh, God.
Margot says
time
this
that
person
someone
does not
dead.
represent Scottish people.
He's on his own.
On his own.
Excuse me. There was once or twice during the
He's still
experience
drunk.
I did see someone walk down the aisle. I only really saw it in my peripheral
Guy,
can't
don't speak.
today. Peripheral vision. I was trying to look out
Peripherals.
there because I didn't want to turn because then it's obvious and they're like, you know too much. We're gonna kill you. So
Holy fuck.
It's very hard. I was really
Did he
needing
go on a
to
Black
shit this
Ops?
amount.
I was really
Um,
needing this shit.
Why did it
So-
escalate so quickly to like murder?
I don't know.
After-
He
I
needs
don't
to
know
go
how
to
long it
a
was. Eventually
air
got
quote,
up in the plane
Wisconsin.
And we came home. And everyone was getting off the plane, and there was a certain point in the
good
journey, again,
place.
probably around the halfway mark, the same part as I started feeling trippy before. Everyone was suddenly moving again, and they were all happy. And like, that was a
Margot
great
says
holiday, and we
this
were getting
person
off the plane
exactly
eventually when it landed,
represents
and everyone was
Scottish
like, that was
people.
the best
He's
experience
one
of
of
my
us.
life. I want to stay in Australia.
I
And
might
the
have
Australians are
misread
also
that
lovely.
comment.
And it was very strange
God.
because I was like,
I'm sorry,
you
Margot.
didn't leave the plane. Nothing happened. It was on your mind because of this
This
drug.
guy is so fucked.
It was manufactured by the New Zealand government.
Oh
Oh
shit!
my God.
Big
So-
New Zealand pharma.
We
Send him a
all got off the
kangaroo.
plane.
An angry one.
Later, I'm making this video.
He
And
said
that
he needs
is
to practice.
the whole experience
Yeah.
of what happens.
He's
when you
still
get on a plane
fucking
and get killed.
high.
And hopefully
Yeah, he
that
is.
on the comments on my Australia doesn't exist video will let up a little. Because that's just my experience, it's the truth. If
I did a line of coke before I did this, and I feel like we're not even here.
I
It's hard
got
to say
super
otherwise,
high.
but I have
I
seen
got on a
what happened
plane,
It's
and
not
I
just a
don't
theory anymore.
remember
I've
what the
seen
fuck
it
happened.
firsthand.
I hungovered
So-
myself.
Whatever.
Hangovered
You're
myself.
welcome to
I don't
something.
know how to fucking verb that, but whatever. This fucking guy.
Fucking Kiko
Live
Seidel
streaming
says
can
my
be
next
tricky,
video
and sometimes trying to find the
will
right
be
software.
about something, 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 something.
There we go
I took a drug.
again.
and something as long as I can get 70,000 views. Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
All buildings
Why is it
matter.
all these?
Interesting. Anyway,
I don't get. I don't know.
that
God,
was fucking
man.
wild. That's what we're gonna end on tonight because don't you feel good about life now? You're not that stupid.
I feel awesome about myself today.
Not you. We're
now.
not talking about you.
God damn.
You just drink your drink.
I will. I'm gonna drink my drink until I wind up in Australia.
Oh, hey, that's how you get there.
Drink
See,
it
that's how
all
you
the
get
way
there.
south of the border.
People don't know. If you want to get to Australia, you just gotta get blackout drunk.
I thought to get to Australia, I had to open the wardrobe.
I mean, I don't know.
Smooth sailing.
That's why we got to get Stevie back. He could tell us how to get.
Stevie don't want to come back here. We talk about too much bullshit. We don't stick on the important topics. That's a joke.
I mean, we had a lot of important topics. We had a penis stream. That was very important. That there was a lot of
No.
Wait, a what stream?
We had a dick stream.
Oh.
Wasn't it talking about shark? What was it? I forgot. Was it shark?
Yeah, sharks got 2 dicks.
Yeah. We said some science for people who didn't know. We do some fine work between our channels.
Fucking hell, we do,
God.
Rich.
I'm glad I missed that stream.
It's just like the glitch paradox, except with double the dick.
Exactly.
No comment. No comment.
No comment is all I needed.
We talk about the things that are important out in the world. We could say the Earth is flat or Australia isn't real. So we're doing pretty good.
Well, or we could, tell people thank you for watching and to shred the like button because that's what we do here on my channel. I don't know what the fuck we do on this guy's channel. Or Squirrel.
You kneel before the like button and smash it.
Kneel. That's way too fucking complicated, guy. You really need to simplify that shit. Holy fuck.
Nothing is ever simple on my channel. Look, if you come to my channel, you know what you're getting yourself into.
I didn't know. Mad Squirrel told me it was a family-friendly stream. For me to hop on.
That's
what I thought when I was getting. That's what I thought when I was getting on a stream, and she lied to me. So
I did. I totally lied.
Not doing this again.
She does family-friendly streams.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's the way she sold it to me.
When have you ever seen her do a family-friendly stream?
I try to believe in what she tells me, but now I know I can't trust her.
Well, I mean,
I am non-compliant.
Just show her little jump scare video next time, and then you'll be even.
Hey, if we do another paranormal episode, yeah, I got something in store for her.
Yeah, we have to have Lee come on for that.
Yeah.
Lemon Pie says Zod isn't real. He's an illusion from drinking a 12-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Oh wow.
and much more.
Good night to Christine. She had to take off.
Jenny, for you, I will do another shark stream because I know you were just crazy. I think Jenny really swims with sharks or something because the way she talks about them.
There are no sharks in Canada.
She is a shark lover.
No, I think she's got some Canadian sharks or some shit. Like the stuff she was dropping on our channel, I'm like, are you swimming with those motherfuckers? Look, I love sharks from a fucking distance. I'm not the typical white person who's gonna go there and go, oh gee, I want to swim with the giant fucking great white shark and get my picture. Ooh, it's so magical. Fuck that. I've seen Jaws, okay? This is how white people die. Stupidity.
And there was what was that other one? Deep Blue Sea? That's another one.
Whoa. Have you seen whoa. Have you seen Deep Blue Sea 2?
Yes. It was
I
terrible.
don't think I
Oh,
watched
you
that.
need to watch it, Rich. They know how to use appropriate camera angles. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's code.
Jenny, you're on some crazy shit. Don't be the typical white person. She says, I would dare to kiss a shark. Damn it.
Oh, I thought she said bye, everyone.
Good night,
No,
Becca.
down further after at Janie, and then she said, I would dare to kiss a shark. Damn it.
Damn it.
Hey, basking sharks are cool. See, I would swim with basking sharks.
No, don't
Yeah,
do
those
it.
are cool.
Don't do it. If there's a basking shark, there's a different kind of shark.
We only get
It will
basking
murder
sharks
you.
in our shores, but they're big. That's from Margot. Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
Look,
they're big as fuck.
Look, listen. This is
Oh,
a PSA to all of you white people. There's already stupid shit we
Oh
do.
my god,
Don't
PSA,
add
and he
on.
just excluded
Yes.
everyone else? You've been muted. You've been muted.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
man.
You want to give that PSA to everybody else now?
No. White people are the one who do stupid shit. We
Holy
play
fuck.
with tigers. We in horror movies we go, hey Bill, are you there? It's fucking pitch black. Bill's dead. Okay, everybody in the fucking movie knows it. I fucking know it.
Oh man.
And he's like, hey guys, where'd Jenny go? Where's Jenny? I'll just go out and look for her.
In the
Fucking-
woods.
Oh God, I hate white people
man.
so much.
At night.
Well, on that,
This is not a
depressingly
family-friendly
racist note,
stream.
No, I'm sorry. I lied.
I feel very offended.
on that depressingly racist note, I guess we'll have to end.
Oh, good night to everyone in chat.
Yep. Good night to everyone in chat. Thank you for watching, and share this with a friend. And never forget,